Welcome to this edition of The Seven. I, of course, am your host, Donovan Sharp. Joining me, our esteemed panel of The Seven. Let us go around the room, each other. First and foremost, the first guy on the panel, first guy in the set, of course, is my man, Steve the Dean Williams. How's it going, Steve?
It's going good. Thanks for having me on the show, brother.
Absolutely, man. Good to have you in here. Next is the man in the NFC with the wife and the girlfriend. I'm Speak Tip Hayton. Mr. Lucario, how's it going, man?
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today? What's popping with everybody? I'm chilling. What's going on?
Listen, it's going to be popping in this motherfucker today. Next up, the man in Minnesota, the Snow Bunny Slayer, Solo TV, motherfucking 84. What's up, Solo?
Hey, everybody. How's it going? We're going to have a fantastic show for you guys today. Professional show. My name is Solo TV 84. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see receipts at Solo TV 84. Don't tell your mama because she might like me. If she DMs me, at Solo TV 84. Let's go.
I love it. Next up is the fittest man on the panel, Mr. Myron, 4% body fat gains. What's going on, brother?
Getting a little fat. It's around 6 now. But what's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. I hope you guys. This is going to be a good one, guys.
This is going to be a really. I'll tell you what, dude. I wish I could be getting fat at 6% body fat, just like that he's stuck at 14.5%. Nigga, I wish I was stuck at 14.5%. Next up is the man, the best dressed man on the panel, probably the coolest studio in the manosphere, Mr. Kevin Samuels. How you doing, man?
I do well.
Is that? Listen, he seems to be doing very
shit, man.
goddamn. Every time I see Kevin set, it makes me want to smoke a cigar and drink whiskey. I love it, man. I love it.
And make sure you get you some Baccarat crystal to do it out of, baby.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, we need to talk, man, because I like those. I like those tumblers you got there. Last but certainly not least, the ordained minister of the streets of Chi-Town, Mr. Minister Jap. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on, man. I'm just trying to stop being shadow banned, man.
hey, listen, man. We're all trying to stop being shadow banned. I don't know if we ever will, but one can only try. Just real quick off the top, as usual, guys, if you support one of us, you support all of us. All super chats are divided evenly amongst tonight's panelists. So again, if you support one of us, you support all of us. We will be opening up the phone lines a little bit later, probably in about a half an hour, 45 minutes or so. So if you have any questions or anything to add about this particular topic, do not hesitate to call in. I will put the number up on the screen as soon as we are ready. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we here in the Red Pill, the manosphere, main goal, of course, is to become a high-value male. Now, we don't necessarily know that that's what we're trying to do because most of us find this community because we either want to get laid or some bitch just cheated on us, or in a lot of times, sometimes both. But the longer you consume this kind of content, the more you begin to realize that every one of the panelists and guys like us all kind of have the same message. High value men, select men, men in demand are the ones that women go after. So now the question begs, what do I need to become a high value man? Now, there are a lot of obvious answers out there. And if you want to know those answers, there's plenty of free content out there. What we are going to talk about tonight are the 7 most ubiquitous traits that most high value men these days possess. The 7 most important characteristics that a man must have to be considered high value. So let's go ahead and get started here with number 1. We're going to go through all 7 of these, and all 7 of us are going to have our takes on all 7 of these. The very first trait that all high value men have is the steadfastness in their belief system. If they believe something, their codes, their principles, the things that they stand on, right? High value men are unwavering in their standards. They're unwavering in their convictions. I'm going to go to Steve with this one first, because Steve, your message is constantly, game is not about women. It's really about you as a man. And if you can't stand on anything, you're not going to accomplish anything. Expound on that for me, would you?
Yeah, when I talk about standing on things, I'm talking about standing on your personality traits. I'm talking about standing on your self-awareness, standing on the way you communicate, standing on the way you delegate, standing on the way you adapt to things, standing on the way how you not only learn for yourself, but also seek out advice from those individuals who know more than what you know and soak up that information to also create more of a standard. So for a lot of guys out there, they think it's always going to be about the woman. The The woman doesn't want a man that doesn't stand on anything. And the great thing about the 6 of you individuals on this thing is that y'all, the people that watch this, they get to see what it's like to be around or see in action what it's like to see men stand on who they are and they never waver.
Absolutely, Stephen. And I'll tell you what, man, this I think is probably, this is where most men fall short. There are a lot of men who have the chops to talk to women, a lot of men who have the chops to go out and exercise and get into good shape. They certainly have the skill to do this. But one thing throws them off their square. There's one thing that happens, and all of a sudden they get rocked to their core, and all of a sudden now their belief system changes. Why is it important for men to stay on that path?
Because your path is your compass, and that's what they don't understand. Your compass is always leading you down that road of growth in who you are. And if you're not standing on your name, now again, we're in a time right now, Donovan, where everybody's telling these young men what to think instead of how to think. And I think that's probably the problem, because a lot of young men, you know, they want to know their name and they want to know how to get women, but they look for everything except themselves to be the answer. You got to be your own compass, and you have got to go down that road by yourself. You got to be selfish, arrogant, a jerk, an a-hole, because you got to be all these things. And you know, did you, like Kevin, dress the part, you know, and Myron show the part, and the other guys that you can see, man, in these, you don't have to pretend to be something that you are when you stand on who you are.
Excellent, man. Very, very well said. Before I go to Solo to get his thoughts on this particular characteristic, Nigel Coyote with the $5 super chat says, I gave up going to church on Sunday years ago, but you guys brought me back. Shout out to the 7. Yeah, we've often been compared to church. Solo, let me get your thoughts on what Steve just talked about, and the fact that one of the many things that high value men have in common are the things that they stand on, their codes, their principles, their belief systems. I think what a lot of guys don't understand is that if a woman, or a man for that matter, can move you off of your square by doing or saying one thing, then you don't really earn their respect in that regard. And if they can move you off your square, then you probably didn't believe in that in the first place. Talk about why it's important for guys not to be moved off their square and how they can prevent that.
Yeah, correct. Because, you know, I don't mean to sound cliche, Donovan, but it's like the old adage, right? If you believe in anything, you'll fall for anything, right? Yep. So a high value man has a standards of principles. Sorry, Steve, I got to steal that from you. He's got a standards of principles and belief system that he follows. And people who are wishy-washy, who are snowflakes, as I guess that's the new term in 2020 they like to use, right? Those are the type of people, they will go with anything. Even if they don't believe it, they want to fit in. They want to be part of the sheep mentality or the herd crowd. And a high value man is willing to stand out, not necessarily because he wants to be a contrarian to stand out, but because he believes in what he believes in. And when you have a set of principles of beliefs that you're willing to follow, then you can be very unwavering. Now, sometimes we can agree to disagree, or we have difference of opinions, but when you know who you are, you know your belief systems, you know what you stand for, then you know your direction where you're going as a man, and then it's going to be hard for you to be swayed by propaganda and gaslighting and all that other junk that happens nowadays.
Kevin, I'm going to come to you in just a second, but I want to talk to Myron about this first, because I'd actually like to get Myron's take on this and then Kevin's take on this. Now, Myron, you're the youngest guy on the panel. The older guys on the panel, like myself, Steve, and Kevin, we have the benefit of experience. So I don't want to say it's easier for us to stand on principles, but it how can I put this? We're much more likely to stick to our principles as a simple byproduct of the time we've spent there. As a young guy who's literally in your early 30s, you're 30 years old, how difficult is it for a man to find the path that he wants to follow and then stick to it? Because, dude, you're not going to be the same person at 40 as you are at 30 and vice versa. What are your thoughts on that as a young guy?
Yeah, I would say it's tough. I mean, a lot of young guys are kind of lost, you know, and we let's face it, we live in a world now where like the typical guy is coming from a fatherless home. He's raised by his mom. We all know that women are fundamentally incapable of teaching you how to become a man appropriately. You have to either figure it out or have some kind of strong male leadership in your life. Otherwise, you know, you'll end up, you know, as a lost boy, which a lot of these guys are. So as a younger guy, because I'm old enough to like remember what it was like before the smartphone, but I'm also young enough to, I'm old enough to know what it was like before that. And then I'm also young enough to like vibe with these 20-year-olds. And it's kind of weird because I'm right in the middle ground to see it from both perspectives. And the thing I see, and I'm fortunate because I came from a 2-parent household, a Muslim household. My parents are from Sudan. So I was able to see my father be a leader and my mom submit to him. And that, like, now that I'm an adult, I'm able to look back and see this is why I was raised right. Like, I didn't come out messed up or anything like that. And I understand like rudimentary basics of relationships that if the man doesn't lead, it's going to fail. It's just the way it is when it comes to a relationship. So for me, I've been able to, fortunately, I had a strong father that taught me to, how to be masculine, how to be a man. And that at the end of the day, the burden of performance is always on you. There's no excuses. You can't cry and blame society and all this other stuff. It doesn't matter who's in office as the president. If you want to blame Trump and all this other stuff or the police or whatever, at the end of the day, it's your fault if you don't succeed. You know what I mean? You got to take ownership. And I think that's something that's missing with a lot of these younger guys where they don't want to take accountability and they want to blame the system or blame some other outside factor to their inability to succeed. And at the end of the day, man, it's if you fail, it's on you. But if you succeed, it's on you. So I think guys got to internalize that.
Very good, man. Excellent. Let me read a couple of super chats here before I come to Kevin. Freelance Ronan with the $5 super chat says, for the collection plate and a carton of eggs. For the collection plate and a carton of eggs, I guess we're never, ever going to live that down. Listen, I had scrambled eggs for breakfast this morning, so I'm not going to throw shade.
What's with the eggs, man?
Oh, you missed it, Jap. So here's what happened.
What's with the eggs, man?
Like, check it out. Solo was smashing this 21, 22-year-old smoke show, right? The bit didn't make eggs, so guess what? The bits had to go. That's why. That's the thing. The bit had to make eggs, so she had to go. And it wasn't really about the eggs for Solo. He was like, listen, if you don't know how to make eggs, and there are a lot more things you probably don't know, and I don't have the time to teach you these things. And I think that's probably where his head at was with that. Isidore Calderon actually has a question. We'll get to that in a minute. Appreciate the super chat. Andre Thomas, $20, says, just checking in. Peace to the panelists, mods, and chat. So, Kevin, let me come to you. Again, you and I are a couple of the older guys on the panel, and you heard what Myron just talked about with regards to having a strong foundation. Now, you and I, we're both in I'm in my mid-40s, you're in your mid-40s. How
51.
Oh, good God. Jesus Christ. Well, you look good for that. How important is it for a man to, I guess, stick to something? Like if a man decides he wants to do something or a man decides he wants to be about something, how important is it for him to stick to that?
It means everything. I mean, you see how I have on the screen, dressing well is a form of good manners.
Yeah. Okay.
Even in my time in corporate America, I understood the importance of a solid image and how to dress for the outcome. And let's say I was coming into a position as a account executive, a junior sales rep.
Right.
Most of these people are dressing in khakis, a button-up shirt, maybe a short sleeve button-up shirt, maybe a tie, maybe not. And I'm coming in with a full suit.
Right.
And they're like, hey, man, the people who are already working with me, hey, man, we don't really do that around here. Hey, man, you're making us look bad. They kind of start joking with you, but then it kind of starts to be like, hey, man, dress like us or else we're going to get heat for not dressing like you. I take a lot of heat for standing on the importance of your appearance.
Right.
But I also have the outcomes and the receipts to show what happens when you stand on that. So here's the thing. What would my coworkers have thought if I would have said, oh, okay, no problem. I have all this stuff and I believe it. I have all this stuff and I say it's important, but just because I get a little heat from you, I'm supposed to change it?
Right.
No, thank you.
Right. And listen, I think it's very important and listen, we get attacked from all different directions. And I'm going to come to you, Lucario. Here's the thing, man. Listen, a lot of us guys, listen, you and me, we know exactly what it's like to catch all sorts of heat and hate. Is it, and I guess this is just a personal question, is it ever a temptation for you to say, you know what, I'm catching all this heat, maybe I should change up my message? Or are you just like, dude, fuck these guys, I'm standing on my goddamn principles no matter what?
Nah, that's the thing. You listen. You always got to stand on what you're trying to do. You understand or the things that you're doing. You understand? Because the thing is, you have to always let the world adjust to what you're doing. You understand? You never change yourself for anybody else. You always have to let everybody else adjust to what your thing is. And what happens is that the only time you change is when you actually truly feel you want to make a change. But it's not a change because of other people. It's a change because of something inside you, or you're trying to go in a different direction, or you're trying to switch things up on your own merit. And so the thing is that that's the thing that makes you a high value man, is because you're basically leading by example, showing like, hey, listen, I'm standing on my principles. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to do what I do. And I'm not going to let anyone or anybody or anything, change my mind or pressure me into doing something I'm not. You see what I mean? And so when you're dealing with women, women are extremely attracted to guys who are like that, because they're like, damn, I can't move this guy. Like he's so unmovable, and that's attractive to a woman, because women are, on the opposite spectrum of us. They're all over the place. They sometimes are like, here and there. So they want someone who they can look to, who's stable, who's going in a certain direction, who knows who they're about. And so whenever you're standing on, who you are, that displays to the woman, hey, this is the guy I really need to be with. So no matter what the pressure is from anybody else, you guys always have to stand on what you're trying to do and just move forward in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
And I like it, dude. Listen, and if you are ever tempted to move off your square, then that square doesn't belong to you in the first place. There was another super chat. Laddie Bo with a $20 super chat. I appreciate that. I guess they didn't have a question. Jap, Isidore Calderon actually asks a very, very good question here. With the $5 super chat, we certainly appreciate that. He says, how would you clarify the difference between showing yourself as high value versus trying to appeal as the beta bucks provider? So really the question here is, Jap, is how do I convey high value without looking thirsty or leading with my wallet?
Well, first and foremost, like just to sum up a lot of things that the brothers were saying, to be high value, you have to have your shit in order. And when you have your shit in order, you can have the integrity to stand on what it is you say that you believe and what you stand for. So you have to have your shit in order, period.
Right.
Now, when you have your shit in order, you can dictate the rules. You can dictate how conversations go, how the relationship goes. You can actually be the man that you say that you are or portraying, because your shit is in order. And if you're a man that has their shit in order, you can show them the money, but not give them the money. You can, you don't have to necessarily do what other people have to do to basically bend on what they believe in. If you don't believe in tricking on bitches, you don't got to trick on a bitch. You could just be who the hell you are, and she will continuously keep trying to break through that barrier, because she's done it with other guys. But it intrigues these women more when a man is unbreakable. And unbreakable men have integrity, and they have their shit in order. And the only way you can have your integrity is to earn your own money, boss up, you know what I mean, and have things in order to where you can make these type of dictative type of decisions. But when you're dependent, a lot of these guys are not really independent. When you hear guys say shit like, yeah, I'm looking for a woman I can build with, that's bitch shit.
Right. Right.
I don't expect a woman to do anything but to look good and be obedient. That is the only thing I want from her. If I want her money, I'm less than a man. If I want her to help me become the best man I could be, I ain't shit.
Right. There it is.
You know what I'm saying? So when you have that mentality, you're going to lose, and you're never going to have the respect of a woman, because she's going to always be able to say, I built you. I made you a better man. I did this. No. Be a man up front. Be a man in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not there yet, focus on getting your shit right.
Yep.
Stop chasing pussy and get your shit right, because you're not going to be able to talk to these women how they need to be talked to when you don't have the integrity to handle your business. When you're bending, you need a bitch to help you with the rent money, and you kissing ass, that's bitch shit.
Real talk. Real talk. Very well said. Black Wolf Inc. with the $5 super chat says, long live the 7. Salute to the Godfather. I assume he's talking about Kevin, because he's the only dude on the panel that actually looks like a Godfather. C-Dub with the $20 super chat says, showing support to the Savage 7. Question for the panel. How does a man differentiate in teaching a woman basics like making eggs, not the best use of our time, well fed, and training a woman required to break bad habits in 2020? Myron, I'm going to come to you first with this one because this is a very interesting question. You're out here you're the only one on the panel. Well, actually, no. You're one of the only ones on the panel. You're constantly dealing with women. You know, things are here in 2020. So the question is, how can you how much time do you spend with women? How do you decide which women you want to train, which basics, et cetera, et cetera? What would a guy your age do?
Yeah. So for me, I've already internalized that, like, me and Solo say this all the time. These girls belong to the streets unless proven otherwise. When you have that internalized, nothing can disappoint you. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that the burden of performance is on her when I'm saying she's got to prove otherwise. Because the thing is that most girls nowadays, I've internalized this phrase, girls want to just want to have fun. And I add the caveat to that, with the highest value guy that they can get, especially here in Miami. Like, when you make plans with a girl, basically she's looking at it like, okay, you're at the top of the list until something better comes along. If something better comes along, I'm flaking. So it's like, that's just how it is here. And that's how it is. I mean, it's just more in your face here. But this is how the marketplace operates in general for young guys. This is why so many young guys are frustrated, because like they can't keep up with these other guys that are basically hogging all the chicks. So with that said, to not be disappointed, you guys got to assume that she belongs to the street until proven otherwise. And she's got to prove it to you. You understand? Now, if she proves it to you, then you could put her through the paces and put her through the girlfriend training and, you know, see if she's worthy. Because the thing is that you're going to have to work with her for a bit to make sure that the mask comes off. Because if she sees you as high value, right, she's going to show you a certain facade. And me and Lucario talk about this all the time, where like a girl will show you an image for a couple of months. That's why, and I agree with Lucario on this too, he could touch on it next, that you gotta work with a girl for like a year to see how she is through all types of different circumstances. Then at that point, you could decide if this girl's worthy of being your girlfriend. Because make no mistake about it, if you're a high value guy and you're committing to one woman, you're making a big, because as a high value guy, you're truly the prize. Because the reality is this: there's hot 18-year-old bimbos turning 18 every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the reality. So, but as a guy, if you earn in the top 1% or you're, you're in good shape, you got your stuff together, you're literally the prize, because you are less abundant than attractive women. So guys need to start moving like that. And the problem is that a lot of guys pedestalize these women. And when you do that, she cannot respect you. And if she can't respect you, then she therefore cannot defer to your authority. If she can't defer to your authority, she's not going to deal with you, because women need to be able to date and defer to a man's authority to like him. They're not like us, where we're like visual. It's like, we don't care what you bring to the table financially or person. Like, are you attractive first? Oh, you are? Okay, cool. I'll bring you in. Women don't operate that way. They have a whole laundry list of stuff. And if you can't fit the basics, which is 99% of the time, leadership, confidence, whatever, things that millennial men lack, let's keep it real. A lot of you guys are betas that don't have any type of direction. Then she's not going to want to deal with you. And this is why so many young men are frustrated with women, because they haven't internalized these rudimentary basics to be attractive with women. So long story short, you need to be indifferent. She belongs to the streets unless proven otherwise. If she proves it to you, then you can start putting her through the paces and make her qualify to you. That's going to do two things. She's going to defer to your leadership, and then two, she's going to actually respect the relationship, because now she knows that she's earned that relationship. And when she has to work for it, she's going to respect it more. Then from there, you work it out and see what you're doing, man. But yeah, like, you guys got to, the biggest thing is you got to understand that you're the prize. And I just want to touch on one thing that Jap said. Yeah. Jap is 100%. I just got to double down on that. Don't expect a woman to help you build. Okay. You understand? You build, and then she comes. You understand? Because the thing is that the less you need a woman, the more attractive you are. I'm gonna say that again. The less you need a woman, the more attractive you are. And the last thing you want to do is have some type of, and I know entanglement is the word nowadays, but like financial entanglement with a woman where she's helped you build, and she can start like claiming, oh, well, I helped you do this, I helped you do that, I expect some kind of money, whatever. No, man. You build it, you let her come, and then you can kick her out when she misbehaves. Because here's the reality. As a man, your only weapon in 2020 is your attention, okay? So if she fucks up, if you built your own stuff, you can kick her to the curb right away, and that's what's going to make you attractive. When you have a take it or leave it attitude with women in 2020, that is so rare that they're like, oh my God, like, this guy really doesn't give a fuck, and he can replace me. This is hot. Because most guys can't. So if you have that kind of mindset, you got it, man.
Excellent. Modern Life Dating in the house. Shout out to him. He says 95% of them belong to
Shout out to John.
of course. And before I go to Lucario, I'm going to come to Solo with this. So Solo, The question on your screen is basically this guy. I mean, listen, basics like making eggs, the best use of our time training a woman. How do you differentiate between teaching a woman the basics or training her, as in breaking the bad habits that women have in 2020?
You see this right here, Donovan?
I see it.
Application for dating. Okay.
Damn.
Now you're probably wondering what the hell is Solo doing right now? The way I frame my dates, especially my first date, I have women fill this application out. Okay. I know a lot of people think Solo, but it works. It works because I have a little role play that I do. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I've been in the kink lifestyle, which that's a whole different video in itself. So I make women fill out applications. Now, people are like, applications, it's part of the role playing. Okay. That's part of the kink lifestyle where women role play. And this application sets the frame that she's trying to get hired on my company. She's qualifying herself to me off rip. That's the frame that I set, Donovan. So now you're wondering, well, what does that have to do with, women making eggs? By setting this type of frame, I'm vetting the women off top, and she knows she's being vetted.
Right.
She knows that from the jump. And what happens is, though, and this is where a lot of guys lose it, is they want to wife up a girl right away. No, this is just part of it. And a woman will have to continuously prove herself to earn your approval, to earn your validation. You see, a lot of us, we get caught up in, oh, well, I want a Tommy Lauren type of girl. So what should I do? Tommy Lauren. No. When you are a high value man, or you know what you want as a man, then the woman is going to come after you. She's going to be on your program. And we've talked about this before. And so the reality is this: when you vet women properly, and a lot of men don't do this, and you put her through certain stages and you see how she behaves, Donovan, you've mentioned it yourself, how she behaves in certain situations, then you're able to take those clips or moments of how she behaves and then, frame it to a certain point where you realize that, okay, so this is how she would act during this situation or that situation. Sometimes, Donovan, what I do is I run something known as fuck up game. You know what that is?
What's that?
Fuck up game is where I might say something crazy just to see how she would react. You know what I mean? And some people say, oh, this is too much. Solo, you capping. But the reality is this: I'm not going to just have a woman think, okay, well, we're just going to hang out and I'm going to be trying to get you or trying to do this and that. There are levels to this shit. Okay? Yeah. If a woman wants to be at the highest level, which in my book right now is girlfriend, then she's going to have to prove herself. She's going to work for it. If she just wants to come through and slob on the popsicles, the black popsicle stick, then we don't even have to do this. But there's levels to the shit, and guys have to start realizing that not every woman is girlfriend material. Some of these women are for the streets. They're concubines, and I'll leave it at that.
Very good. Before I come to Lucario, let me get to a few super chats here. Victor Senna, with the, I actually have the conversion down here. I don't want to fuck this up. With the 50 Brazilian reals, which is roughly about a little over $9, says Donovan, I am a BDSM practitioner, most often using ropes, shibari, tying the girl up in many ways. And since I started, I noticed that girls go nuts and always act super submissive in me dating. Not only in bedroom fun. Why? How come? Well, the reason is simple. The way you treat a woman in the bedroom often translates to the way you treat a woman outside of the bedroom. If a man is a bitch outside of the bedroom, guess what? He's going to be a bitch inside the bedroom. Girls love dominant men in and out of the bedroom. And the more dominant a woman appears to be, the more they actually want to be dominated. Dude, some of the most submissive women are some of the most outwardly dominant women there are. And if they run up on somebody like Solo or somebody like yourself, dude, they go from tiger to pussycat just like that. King Life, $10 super chat says, the day you change for the external, it has to be an internal decision for yourself, for your benefit only. So Lucario, let me get your thought. So you said you had thoughts on something that we had talked about before as well as this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on what Jap and Myron was saying. Is I kind of disagree with not letting a woman be part of your program and help you with what you're doing.
Okay, got it.
Now the reason why I say this is because now there's times where if you're just hooking up with a girl, let's say some girl you just hooked up with once or twice, that's whatever. You understand? That's just sex. But what happens is that if you're spending any significant amount of time with a woman, and let's say this is a girl you actually like, and she's with you, if she's not participating in helping you with what you're doing, she's in the way. You understand what I'm saying? And then what happens is that the way that it works with women is that the more that they are involved in whatever you're doing, or the more that they help you with things, and it don't even have to be anything big. It could be something as simple as she's cooking you food, ironing your clothes so you can get ready for a business meeting or whatever, but she has to contribute something. Because what happens is that when a woman does something for you, she gets more attached to you. And if this is a woman you're actually trying to be with, you want the woman you're trying to be with to be attached to you, to feel like she's part of your situation, so she does not get in the way of your situation. Good. So it's not that she's building you, it's that you're bringing her to be part of your thing. So the thing is, women get attached to whoever they're helping. You understand what I'm saying? This is why women, they get so attached. Of course, if they have a kid or whatever, they get attached a lot because they are doing things for the kid. They're doing things for the husband. They're doing things for their family. The attachment is there, and therefore they help grow that thing. But what you got to understand is this: she's not making you. You understand what I'm saying? So for example, if you have a business or some sort of large corporation, if you hire an employee, they don't make or break your company. You understand what I'm saying? Right. They're helping you with the company. You see what I mean? So that's the thing where I don't look at it as she's making you. It's that you are bringing her as part of your situation, so that she's not just there taking space. Because sex is easy to get. You can get sex from any chick. You can get a good-looking chick anywhere. You see what I mean? But it's like, what is she doing for you if she is spending a significant amount of time with you? You see what I'm saying?
Yes. The point that I was making with that is, if a woman should not have the ability to build you up.
No, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
So, like, if you put a woman in a position to help, and she does minor things, she does what the hell you told her to do. It could have been any woman. It wouldn't. It's not just her. She's not special. It's in you as a man. So I just want guys to not come to the table like, yes, I'm looking for somebody to build with.
Right, I got you.
Because when you do that, you're already saying, look, I only got half.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
Can you bring the other half and then I'm whole?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
She will never respect you.
Listen, you complete me, Jerry Maguire bullshit is if a woman is a yin to your yang, if she's the apple of your eye, dude, you're already out. And listen, women will swoon and, oh, how sweet. Listen, that's all well and good for the fucking cameras and her girlfriends and shit. But behind closed doors, she doesn't respect that. Ronald Saluki with the 20,000 yen, which is roughly $200 super chat, says just a little something. I'm going to go to Steve the Dean Williams first. Then I'm going to quickly go to Myron Gaines, and we got to move to the second trait that most high value men possess. So, Steve, let me quickly get your thoughts on what Jap and what Jap and Lakari were talking about. A woman on your program, right? But a lot of guys don't understand this, Steve. You can't. A lot of guys say, "I want a woman who's going to be on my program." Nigga, you ain't got a program. What's the difference? What is the difference between a man without a program and a man with a program, other than the obvious?
Well, that's the thing. Well, no, I see where they're coming from. Both of them are right. But what I don't understand is this women for the street type shit. You know what I mean? Because the thing that throws me off is everybody wants to talk that big game that she on the streets, but they scared to talk to the woman, or they want a woman to be a whore, right? On one hand, right? But because she's what they want, then they want to call her a whore. I mean, it doesn't make it. See, if you notice, even with the guy with the question, everybody's making this shit about women. It always got to be women, and you wonder why you lose. The guy asked about how much time he's supposed to spend, or how his time should be with a woman, or how much time he should have with a woman. You make the time. You decide what the time is. And training a woman, you got to see. The thing is, these guys don't know how to train themselves enough to train women on how they want them to be trained. And that's the problem. This is what I'm talking about. We are not here to teach you how to think. We're here to teach you how to think for yourselves. And the only way you're going to think for yourself is to ask yourself, what is worth my time? Jap just told you And Lucario just told you, Myron just told you, everybody told you different things, but their standing on it goes back to the standards because that's what they believe in. I can't argue with Jap on how Jap feels because that's how Jap feels. I can't argue with Lucario. I can't argue with what a man thinks because a man's standing on his principle. I just got to respect it. But the problem is, it's like y'all want us to tell you things. Y'all have got to start thinking for yourselves, and you've got to understand, stop making it about these women. I don't care if she's on the street. I don't care if she's on Mars, and I don't care what she does to the next man. What is she going to do when she's around me?
There
That's
it is.
what I want to know.
Very well said. Before I go to Myron, Seeker of Truth with the $5 super chat says, keep up the great work leading guys out of the beta zone. Myron, you said you had thoughts on something.
Yeah, no. I mean, and guys, this is the beauty of being on this panel is that everyone brings a different perspective. It's not an echo chamber, so you can, depending on your situation, you can take the advice that's best for you. But what I wanted to say was just with Lucario and Jap is I'm going to come to a middle ground here. I agree with Jap that she can't be in a position where she can make or break you, but I 100% agree with Lucario that you need to. When I say she shouldn't be building your empire, I mean as in, I like what Lucario was saying, like you need to employ her to do things so she gets invested in the relationship. I wouldn't put her in a position where she can mess you up, where she's like handling like crazy finances or she's making decisions on the business or anything like that. But I do agree that to get her invested, you need to get her into your world where she's helping you, whether it's like her cooking you food, ironing your clothes, keeping your place clean or whatever, or helping you with like running your business. I think that is good because it's going to get her invested. It's going to make her actually be more attracted to you. And then on top of that, she sees how hard you're working. And I always say, like, one of the biggest things that kills women's attraction is lack of ambition. So when she's there real time watching you grind, that turns her on because then she knows, oh, I'm with this guy. I'm following his lead. I'm not going to lose with this guy. So I see both sides with that.
Very good. Very well said. I actually like how it actually kind of came full circle. All of you agreed on the same thing. You just got to the conclusion in a different way. And this is the dimension that we talk about on the show. Chris Allo wants to know how he can become a member. Yeah, simply click the join button next to the subscribe button. We're about to hit the second one. I'm going to go to Kevin Samuels with the second trait that most high value men have. And Anthony Spade with the $20 super chat, I'm waiting for it to come up, says, keep up the good work.
Shout out to Anthony Spade. What up, bro? Shout out to Anthony Spade, man. He's doing big things on YouTube.
Good shit, man. All right. Oh, there it is. It finally came up. King Life says Myron and Steve are gold, and DS is practically the best example in life with this. Right. I already had something, and now Devin works for me to build that. I would have got here with or without her. But it would be disingenuous of me to say that she doesn't help. I got here quicker with her than I would have without her, but I would be here with or without her. And that's what a lot of guys really, really need to understand. The second trait that all high value men have in common is they are very well dressed. Kevin, I want you to listen, man. So many guys sleep on the way they dress. Me recently, I'm beginning to upgrade my wardrobe. I'm going to come see you down in Atlanta. Dude, I need you to dress me from head to toe. I got Aqua de Joe. I got Spice Bomb. I'm starting to upgrade these things because my lifestyle is starting to change. Why is it that so many men just ignore the way they dress, and how is it costing them?
One, unfortunately, because so many of us don't have dad at home.
Yep.
So we don't get the chance to see dad put on the shave and put on the aqua, put on his brute and all this other stuff going out the door to make it happen. We dress by mom, and mom dresses us to look cute. That's why you got 40-year-old, 50-year-old guys still running around in Jordans and LeBrons and shit. I mean, I get more pushback from men because they don't understand that your image is 4 parts: appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. We're going to focus on A. You get 7 seconds to make a first impression. And people don't understand that your image is a tool. I will almost guarantee you this. The guys who push back upon missing out on an image don't know how to use tools either. I mean, you got a hammer and they use a butter knife for a screwdriver. And everything. Well, what's this thing with this cross here? That's called a Phillips. That's a flathead. You need an Allen wrench. You need pliers. I mean, it's like, even my bougie ass, I trust me, my tool set will make you dig hard if you're a man, because you need tools. Your image is a tool to unlock the gates to get what you want. I'm a 6'4" black man raised in Red State, Oklahoma, from a single mother in the projects. But yet I've used my image to put me in the halls of power that my genetics, my race, my class, my group normally would not even, people wouldn't think I would be there for. My image. See, it's called fake it till you make it.
There you go.
The problem is you got to understand why you're trying to do something. See, I don't dress this way to impress anybody. I dress this way for, say it again with me, an outcome, a result.
Don DeMarco.
It's a result. And the thing is, I challenge guys to do this. All right. I don't want to argue with me. I don't want to argue with you about what you think. Try what I say for 30 days and then come back and tell me I'm wrong. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me I'm wrong, because they can't. Even if you just wear a fragrance for 30 days, you'll notice a difference.
Hey, listen, and the way both men and women treat you. By the way, Kevin Samuels, you have passed me in subscribers. Dude, I had 15,000 more subscribers than you about 12 minutes ago, and now you have shot past me. So, dude, congrats.
This week, thank you. This has been crazy last couple of weeks, man. But it even goes back to the point when I went viral on World Star and all these other things happened. Well, guess what? If people had come to my platform and they only saw one video that looked like that, they say, this guy's just a flash in the pan or whatever. But you can go back to my video and you can say, oh, there's a whole catalog full of work. See, I don't expect everyone to walk around in a shirt and tie like this. But there is a version of a classic masculine man wardrobe for you. If you want to understand what I'm talking about, go watch the AMC TV show Mad Men.
Ooh, there we are.
Mad Men took the Don Draper character, and he was in his ad world. He had to dress one way, but then when he was away from there, the guy still dressed like men. They, back in days, like in the 50s and 60s and 70s, jeans weren't worn, even though they're as much as they are today. Guys wore pants. The most important thing, I'm gonna just say this and let it run. Okay. Jeans are now an effective part of a man's classic wardrobe. It's your shoes, gentlemen. Shoes change who you are. They change how you walk. They are the foundation of everyone's outfit, and they are universally what high-value men and high-value women look at to identify whether or not you're part of the group. It is instinctive. We have done this for thousands of years, back when the royalty used to wear shoes and people used to walk around barefoot.
Right.
Wear your athletic shoes in the gym or whatever. And unless your style personality is really street or hip hop, even designer sneakers and things like that, you won't be able to get into some places wearing. You can have on a $2,000 pair of Balenciagas or Giuseppe's, and you still can't get into some of these clubs.
Damn.
So the reality is you have to use it to get what you want. Go ahead.
Listen, real talk. Anthony Spade with the $5 super chat says, thanks to Kevin, I went shirt shopping today. Before I go to Lucario, I would like to quickly sort of flash back. Kevin and I did an episode called what was it called? If you wear Jordans, men will not take you seriously. And people lost their minds. Hey, guess what? That's the fucking truth. Listen, if you want to be taken seriously, don't listen. If you want to wear Jordans to go play ball or to fool around with your homeboys, fine. But you can't be going out to dinner wearing fucking Jordans. It just doesn't work that way, right? Like, dude, you ain't Marshawn Lynch, fam. Like, you ain't Kyrie Irving. It doesn't work that way with you. Lucario, let me come to you with this, because you're actually, believe it or not, you're probably the second best dressed guy on the panel. What is your take? Now, the reason I'm coming to you is because I want to know what your take is in terms of your lifestyle. You've got the wife and the girlfriend, but you still have to represent. Even right now, you just got a plain. You've got a nice red T-shirt on. You've got the chain. Everything is in its place. what about your style personality helps you with your lifestyle?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say what Kevin is saying is absolutely right about the style and how that, affects certain things, because, what I try to do is this, and I tell guys, you have to, dress in a style that makes you comfortable, because if you're comfortable, then if you're comfortable in what you have on and how you're, presenting yourself, then you're going to be comfortable talking to women, talking to people, interacting with people. But the thing I always tell guys is this: guys always worry about looks. Like, they're like, oh, I got to be the best looking guy. No, any guy could actually step up his style game, and that's going to attract more women. And I always tell guys this: women are going to basically judge themselves based off of the type of guy that approaches them. So,
right.
So, for example, I actually saw Kevin Samuels' video. I don't know if he remembers this. He did a video a while ago. I think he was either at an event or on a boat or something, and these two cute white girls came up to you and they started talking to you, and they took the glasses off. And so they just based off his style, they was like choosing up. So this is what I'm saying. Where based off your style, women will want to interact with you. So when you approach women or you talk to women and they see that you're put together well, what it says to the woman in her mind is, it says, wow, I can actually attract the guy who's high value. I can attract the guy who looks like this. You see what I'm saying? But if you're dressed like a bum, right, all the time, then you approach women, a woman will be looking at you like, oh man, why is this guy approaching me? She's that attitude, because based off your appearance, she's going to think I can only attract bums. You see what I'm saying? So just based off of you having your appearance on point, that will increase the amount of women who are going to be receptive to you just based off your style. You see what I mean?
Very good.
I gotta say that actually was live streamed on Instagram.
Right.
And I put it up on YouTube, and of course, it had a great ending to that story that night. Great ending. Great ending.
It was a good night, I guess.
It was a damn good night.
I got a question here from Myron Gaines from one of the commenters. Let me quickly read out the super chats. Red Sings the Blues says, late to the channel. Sorry about that. As a young man, you want to have to be valued. And the first and last name is the most important before going to the car, body, etc. Women can grab your items when they want one thing in a man. Very, very well said. Seed Up with the $10 super chat says, a woman in your life and not on your program on some level will ultimately become a part of the problem, because she'll demand he choose her over the program. Either way, she isn't the one and has to go. Myra, we got a very interesting question here in the chat, if I can pull this up. So Isaiah R., with the $10 super chat, we appreciate that. He says, Myron, how do you reconcile your faith with your lifestyle? Also, your Muslim community has one of the most beautiful and respected women there are. Why not just marry one of them and live this Western lifestyle? That is a very good question.
It is. My parents have been trying to get me an arranged marriage for the past couple of years now, but that's a whole other topic, man. So I'll be honest, guys. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like the best Muslim, man. I'm pretty Westernized. I do my thing. It is what it is. Obviously there's some things that I just, I hold true and close to me that I just don't do just because of my faith. And I was raised in a Muslim household. My parents are religious. My parents both pray. My mom covers her hair. They speak Arabic fluently. It's their first language. So, I grew up in that household. My parents are still together. So really what the red pill did was basically just like, it confirmed things I had already been told by my father and my uncle about like how to operate when it comes to mate selection, how to move in the world, how to, be a masculine man, and why it's so critical to your personal development as a man. So like as a kid, I was like, man, you guys are like, this is the United States, bro. You guys got to chill out. Like, what's wrong with you guys? And then as I became an adult, like the more and more I get older and older, the more like it confirms what they've told me since I was a teenager. So I've just been able to like kind of apply things that I've already known. And now I'm just connecting the dots now as a young man, well, kind of older now, but like at 30. So that's kind of how I've connected it. And it's, just kind of prepared me for a lot of uncomfortable truths that we are, that we know in the sphere, but now it's just, confirmed.
Okay. Very good. Steve, you said you had something to add.
Yeah, one thing to say with Myron, because I've dated Afghan and Pakistan women, so I've been all over it. So yeah, they will change. They Muslims, but they will change. Oh, yeah. But I want to go off what Kevin and Lakari was saying, and I want to add on to it. Now I can't touch what they're saying because they're on point, but I want to add one thing that a lot of men don't understand. Style is not just the way you dress. is how your crib is set up as well.
Yeah.
You guys out there, I want y'all to dress nice, and I want y'all to look. Kevin can help you. Lucario, it's Kevin. That's Kevin's thing. But what I'm saying to you guys is, you can't style and profile and go to a dirty, raggedy house that doesn't suit or flow.
That's right.
The clothes flows into the house. It's what I call flow. And Kevin, you can roll on this one. But what I'm saying is, when a woman meets you and sees the style, smells the fragrance, looks at the watch, shoes, all those things, the flow of sexuality will flow over as soon as she goes to your house, because it's still a representation of who you are. So it's definitely how you style, and they're 1,000% right. And I just wanted to add on, is also how you set up your crib. Your crib has to be you.
Gotta be on board.
Yeah, when you're not home,
And you gotta have a clean car inside and out.
yes, Jab, yes,
Yeah. Like, when that bitch sit in that car, she gotta know. Oh my God.
I did an entire video. I did an entire video series. Things your father should have taught you, and it talked about that very thing. Dressing, to the feng shui of your space, to your car, to your personal hygiene, to washing your ass, wiping your ass. Get you some goddamn baby wipes and clean your butthole out. You talk about you want a woman to get down there and worship you, and you smelling like Bigfoot, Negro. Come on, man.
Hey, but like to really, because I know we talk about the style and everything, but
Oh my God.
just we gotta control. Like, guys gotta control the controllables. Like, every nigga is not gonna be able to buy Tom Ford.
You don't need to, bro. You can get down. You can do it cheap.
But grooming is controllable.
Yes.
You're grooming, you're lining, you smell good. You know what I mean? Use what you have to the best of your ability. Keep that shit ironed. You know what I'm saying? Keep your shit clean.
yes.
Throw old shit away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have got to control the controllables. And washing your ass and smelling good, there's no excuse for that.
None.
As a man, like, working out, taking care of your fitness, you know what I'm saying? Looking the part. You cannot be looking for dime bitches. Like, I made a post the other day, and I'm gonna do a show about this. And I'm gonna have to give this towards the guys, you know. But I said to the women, I said, get butt naked and stand in front of the mirror.
There it is.
And ask yourself, are you this bad bitch like you're proclaiming to be? Are you the bitch that I need to be doing? They need to get the flu out and took on trips. Just look at it. That's the truth. You butt naked is the truth. As a man, pull your fucking shirt off. Look at yourself before you start talking this MGTOW.
Oh, here we go.
Man,
shots fired! Fucking mirror and say, are you the motherfucker who has the ability to talk this shit and deserve your dick sucked daily? And if you can't look at yourself and say that, you need to fix yourself.
hey,
That's controllable. That's controllable.
real motherfucking talk. Hey, Kevin,
I'm on my Myron Gaines shit. I'm drinking water. I gotta get out.
the influence. Myron, you had something to add on the style here.
Yeah, all I wanted to say, also, I did an interview about the Islam and the Red Pill with Abu. American guys, go check him out. Great content creator. I respect Abu. But anyway, with the clothes, I just want to say this. When I moved to Miami, especially for you guys that live in major cities or whatever, you have to kick your fashion up. Like, you got to wear fitted clothes. You got to wear cologne. You got to wear Chelsea boots, trucker boots. You got to get fashionably forward to some degree. You know what I mean? Because if you dress like a bum, just like Lucario was saying, and Kev, if you're the way you dress is kind of like a business card about like your status level, and then also how much you care about yourself. So if you smell good, you dress good, you're clean, it says a lot about you without you ever having to open your mouth. Because the reality is this: most men are slobs. Most men don't put on deodorant. Most men sweat awkwardly. Most men look like crap. Most men don't take care of themselves. And the things that are in your factor, you need to, the things that you can control, you need to control and excel at them. So get your teeth straightened, get your teeth whitened, get in the gym, dress better, smell better with cologne. All these things will give you an edge in the marketplace so that you can be more attractive, not just for the women, guys. You do this for yourself, man. You walk out the house and you can be able to, get your shoulders back, chest up, you know, chin up, and you could like attack the world. You know what I'm saying? And women are just a byproduct of it. But when you look like crap, you're gonna feel like crap. But when you look good, you feel good. So that's all I want to say on that. You gotta maximize the things you can control.
Excellent. Steve, what you got?
Just quick ad, guys. Listen to me. The women will go in your closet and smell your clothes. They will put on your shirt.
Smell your dirty underwear.
Oh,
Look for your shit stains, you nasty motherfuckers.
Damn, Kevin. I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, Kevin. I can't make me laugh. They will do all. Yeah, they will smell all. They will go in and check your watches. They love taking their hands and draping it over all your clothes just to get your scent on them. So I just wanted to add that. Not your drawers scent like Kevin was saying.
But I gotta big up Kev on this one too, because like, speaking of behind the scenes, I had to step my motherfucking my fragrance game up. And when
hey, real talk.
I did that though, like, you know, I went about the I got that Burberry, I think the black one with the on it.
Yeah,
it's the Burberry.
But the one right now that every time I hug a woman, old, young, whoever, oh my God, that fucking Chanel blue.
Oh yes.
Oh man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like damn, like I used to just wear like little here and there ass colognes.
Yeah, right.
I really got into that shit and said, look, I'm about to get some real colognes. I got Gucci's and I got all these shits, but that Chanel joint right there, a bitch knows I'm in the room. You know what I'm saying? And it's just been a very, very good experience. You know, the hugs that I get, they wrap their arms around a motherfucker when I got that bitch.
It won't let him go. I'll come to Kevin. Kevin, there's actually a couple of questions here from Kevin from the Sharp Stream site as well as YouTube. Let me get to Ignacio Talavera here. He says, I agree with you fellas. We as fathers need to make sure our sons learn, I guess, to be a real man. Mr. C with the huge $100 super chat says, for men chasing greatness. Avid Higer with the $30 super chat says, Kevin is spot on. I used to dress with expensive clothes, but was mentally weak and insecure. Once the mindset changed, everything came together. Everything together. People in general do sense your presence. So I've got a question here from one of my guys in Sharp Stream. This is the private stream. He has a question for you. He says, Kevin, is it simply a matter of the dress shirt / shoes or just looking sharp? My work business is physical and active. Dress, slacks, and shoes are bad in that regard. Thanks. That's a very good question. What are your thoughts on that?
All right. Environment matters. The most important thing in anything about style is fit.
Yes.
Fit over fashion.
Facts.
The things that you guys most notice about me is I can have a Tom Ford suit on right next to a Suit Supply suit, and they both fit immaculately. One is $5,000+. One is $300. Fit is what it's about. Fit over fashion. Then quality is more important than quantity. Let me tell you guys, going to get your dress shirts, your button-ups, altered, getting darts put in your shirt. So like say Myron, everything off the rack for you doesn't work, but you need to get your shirts to where they emphasize your back and your lats and then the narrowness of your waist.
For sure.
Wow. So when you're walking out, and then you can have your pants to where they're tapered down below the knee, but got enough in your thigh and right around your waist to where it looks just like, wow, he can be wearing a t-shirt and jeans and some white sneakers and look incredible because it fits. Unbelievable. It is more important than anything else.
Very true. I always say, guys, the way it fits is more important than the brand.
Yes, 100%. I'm going to go to Minister Jap next with the third trait of a high value man. A couple of quick super chats, real quick. A question for Kevin. He says, "I'm really glad you guys are doing the show. My father did not want to play a tremendous role in my life, so I'm hearing this for the first time." Then there was another guy who wanted. No, that wasn't it. Oh crap, I lost my spot. Blue Lion 7342 says, "I've never been that great with style selection. What are the panel's thoughts on using subscription clothing services?"
No.
Kevin.
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
One of the best things I would say is Suit Supply. I put it in chat room. It is the one brand I recommend worldwide for cost effectiveness, for selection. And they have locations country or worldwide. The Napoli suit line, they will actually send it to you. Buy it for $399. They'll send it to you. You try it on. If you don't like it, you just ship it right back. Trust me. Suit Supply is a great place to start out with. It's far better than, and I've tried dozens of them, hundreds to this level, and yeah, subscription.
Okay, very good. Well, there is your answer. Real quick, super chats, and we'll get to Minister Jap. Red sings the blues. Says I had to stock up on Tide with Febreze, Downy scent boosters with Old Spice, etc. My laundry game has to be on top of the smell game. The mixture of the detergent with cologne makes a difference. Now that I would agree with. JR with the $15 super chat. A shout out to the 7 tonight. Also, Myron, I didn't know you were Muslim. You are blessed, my brother. Some of the baddest chicks I ever came across were Muslim, Moroccan, Somali, Sudanese. Very, very good. The third trait of the high value men, the third trait that most high value men have in common, they ain't got a bunch of baby mamas, which means they know how to avoid certain situations with women so they don't get hemmed up. So, Job, I'm gonna come to you with this, man.
Yeah.
Why is it? I have two questions for you. How important is it for men to wrap up? And a follow-up question is men know how important it is to wrap up because they know about baby mama drama. Why do niggas keep sticking their dicks in these bitches raw?
Well, it goes back to dick discipline. A lot of men that are high value have a discipline on their dick to where it almost makes these women seem like, damn, this guy's got to be gay or something, like, you know what I mean? Like he's just not average. Like, you know, he's turning down pussy. And I tell guys, man, you know, it's not about how much pussy you get, it's about how much pussy you could turn down. And getting the pussy in the manner in which that you want it. Now, a high value man understands that you don't want to put yourself in a permanent situation with a temporary bitch. So,
wow.
So, you know, you got reckless guys out here who don't understand. Like, I have a video on my Patreon called 22 Seconds of Pleasure. And if you look it up, a woman's orgasm lasts for 18 seconds. A man's orgasm lasts for 22 seconds. So a lot of guys let that 22 seconds of pleasure destroy their lives, destroy their empire. You look at all these guys, what's the fucking Blake Griffin? He about to pay a bitch right now $200-something thousand a month because he nutted in her.
Bryn Cameron.
I have never had a piece of pussy worth $200,000. I don't even think I've had a piece of pussy worth $200. You know what I'm saying? But this is what dudes are doing, and a high value man has the ability to watch and survey and watch everybody else fuck up their lives. Every guy that you meet who had a fortune or whatever like that, usually they can attribute to the downfall or whatever empire they had was a bitch, or how he dealt with a bitch, or what he did with his dick. Look at Terrell Owens.
Oh God.
Cry baby. That pussy got him crying like a bitch on OWN network or something. This is the most physically fit, built big man. He touched millions. And you know why he's a piece of shit now? Because he didn't have dick discipline, and he stuck his dick in the bitch raw, got a gang of bitches pregnant, and they arguing over his fortune. None of the bitches that he fucked are worth a damn. But he's broke and he's crying.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Now, Solo, you're a young guy, right? How is it that listen, and I'm going to come to Myron next, right? I don't have kids. Myron doesn't have kids. You don't have kids. None of us have kids that we know of. Let's be fucking real. What's the first thing you got to tell these dudes to prevent getting these bitches out here pregnant, man? What's going on?
Yeah, man. Put that Jimmy hat or rubber hat on, bro. Put it on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I understand it's 2020. Some of you guys have girls, and by the way, Donovan, I know you probably experienced this too, and I'm not trying to dry snitch to Devin, but there's probably girls that you're about to have sex with, and their legs are wide open. They're not worried about you putting on a condom.
Never, ever, 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 ever. They never are, dude.
They're not worried about you. Nope. So the reality is this. A lot of girls will tell you, oh, I'm on birth control, I'm on this, and I'm on that. Look, guys, at the end of the day, I've dealt with women on birth control. I'm still putting a condom on. Now, right. Does the condom break sometimes? Yes, but that's what I got the plan B for. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that, and you know, I like this guy, but he's got so many baby mamas. Look at Future, for example. He's got so many baby mamas that 30 years from now, he's going to be broke.
Yep.
He's going to be broke. And he's like one of the hottest rappers out right now, Donovan. Yep. And so the reality is that, yes, it feels good to be in them sugar walls while you bunker bustering and tearing them walls out, right? But is it, like Jab said, is it worth the price that you got to pay later? And so you got to think long term. And one thing I realized, Donovan and Jab, Kevin, everybody on the panel, right? As a man, especially, and I'm not trying to make this about race, but as a black man, I was wondering when I was in college, why are so many guys getting girls pregnant? And then I realized something very fucking simple. It's because they're not using condoms. That's all you got to put the condom on.
Hey, look,
listen. Hey, hold on. Solo, I will tell you this. If you talk to a lot of older black guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, not the ones like Kev that have that demeanor like Kev, because Kev is a different mind, but guys Kev's age, they literally brag about not using condoms. They literally talk down on condoms. You'll hear your old ass uncles say, "Fuck, I'm using this plastic shit. I want some pussy. I need to feel the pussy."
All right, I got to get it raw.
You be like, man, what the fuck? We at my barbershop in my neighborhood. These motherfuckers used to sit me and my cousin down. They told me and my cousin, "You two little motherfuckers ain't never really had no pussy because you ain't never been burnt." That's the old nigga advice that we getting out here from these motherfuckers. So that's the reckless behavior of these motherfuckers. These niggas out here getting crabs. They fucking bitches in Brazil and DR raw. I told you about that third world pussy. Them hoes don't use toilet tissue. Always gonna roast any nigga doing that third world shit. The bitch don't use toilet tissue. I look at them bitches' fingernails. I know them bitches stink.
That might have to be the next topic, Donovan. Foreign women or foreign dating or some shit.
Hold up.
Third world pussy.
There it is. Third world pussy. Steve, what you got on this, man?
I'm sorry. All right, what I want to say is, again, I've been fucking since I was 13. Okay, my first was 24 and shit, and I've being a whore, slut, and doing the gigolo thing. Never got a woman pregnant. Why? Because my seed, my name, my name, and my seed meant so much to me that I just wasn't gonna give it away to any woman. And what I'm saying now, don't get me wrong. When I was 18, I was smashing this 25-year-old from Germany in Baumholder. I always tell people about it. That was the only time that I smashed somebody without a rubber, because I met at the bar and she took me in the car and fucked me. Anyway, but what I'm saying, y'all guys, y'all young men out here, I'm not just talking about when you are dating a woman to wrap up. I'm talking about when you're living with a woman to also wrap up, because you don't know if the relationship is going to work. And a lot of these young men get in relationships with women. They live with women. They start to go raw dog the woman. She feels like she's about to go out the door. He's about to go out the door. Someone appeal. Someone pokes holes in the rubber, or something happens where there's a baby involved in this. And what I'm just telling you real quick to the young guys out there is that you wear the rubber until she gets the ring, if she even gets that.
Yes.
So ever. Only time if you want a nut, you come out of the coochie, pull the rubber off, then skeet all over her face if you want to.
That is.
But do not go raw, especially if you're living with a woman. Just because y'all playing house don't mean y'all are house.
Woo, very well said. Myron, again, you're 30. You don't have any kids that you know of. And listen, man, we're out here talking about like, hey, listen, the reason you should use a condom is not to have kids. We got the STD problem out here too, right? So how have you managed to stay out of STD clinics and paternity court?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I've went inside Raw before, and I'll tell you this, man, it's not worth the headache, guys. It's not. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but oh yeah, I only use. No, I've done it Raw, but like it's not worth the headache, guys. And then going to CVS and being a sponsor of Plan B, pretty much, and buying stock in their thing. It's not. Yeah, I mean, which I've been buying. No, I'm just kidding. But but the point is that, guys, honestly, it's really not worth the headache. It's not worth being like stressed out, whatever. I've spent so much money on Plan B, guys. Like you guys don't even. I need to buy stock in it because it's like getting crazy out here. But like, but it's really like the people at CVS is like gotten to the point now. I walk down the street, I go in, I get I get the pill. They're like, again. I'm like, yeah, bro, I messed up. Yeah. I'm gonna hold this L. You know what I'm saying? Womp womp womp. So like, guys, it's not worth the stress, spending the money, the headaches. The like, oh my God, am I burning? Like, you know what I mean? Thankfully, I've never been infected, thank God. But guys, it's not worth it, man. You just wear a condom every single time, which I've been doing.
Totally agree. Listen, man, don't get me wrong. Raw pussy feels good, but you want to know what feels better? No child support.
Exactly, bro. I got to admit my L's and my W's on here.
You feel me? All right. So the fourth trait that all high value men have in common is the abundance mindset. And when we say the abundance mindset, we're talking about women, right? Now, men can have an abundance mindset with money, success, et cetera, et cetera. But it is the most important. It's the most important to have abundance with women, because if you have an abundance mindset with women, women are never the priority. Now, Mario, the reason why I want to ask you about this is because you have both a wife and a girlfriend. Yeah. And listen, you are always sourcing. That is, again, if that's not abundance, I don't know what is. How did you accomplish this? Number one. Number two, how do you keep the abundance mindset when you've got two girls who give you guaranteed pussy? That can't be easy.
Right. Well, this is the thing, man. Look, you guys got to understand that first is a mindset, because a lot of guys, when they hear this, they're like, well, I don't have abundance. You don't have to have literal abundance of women right in front of you. You have to have the mindset first, though. But in order to have the mindset, you got to be confident first. You have to actually believe that you're the type of guy that can get a lot of women, that that actually deserves a lot of women. You see what I mean? And in order for that to happen, you actually have to be a high value guy. You actually have to be a guy who is on point. You got to be a guy who really understands his value. Because if you don't feel that way about yourself, you're never going to be able to have that abundance mindset, and therefore you're not going to be able to get that abundance. And see, this is the thing. This is the good thing about having that abundance mindset, is that when you have that abundance mindset and you're confident, what happens is that you're able to interact with a lot of different women. And because you're able to interact with a lot of different women, you start to meet a large number of women who are also attracted to you, that they're really into you. You understand what I'm saying? So now you get to pick and choose the best out of who's trying to get at you. So my wife, she's high value. My girlfriend, she's high value. And so I'm choosing them out of, what I'm saying, all these other girls who want to get with me. But see, when a guy doesn't have the abundance mindset and he doesn't really have abundance, he usually takes what he can get. And then when he takes what he can get, he's just kind of like, man, I'm not really feeling this right now.
Hey, Lucario.
It is what it is, bro.
Look at Lucario looking fresh. He getting that. Game Kings. The game.
See, and something Lucario said that I want to expand on for just a second.
Yeah.
One of the best ways to cheat the game is go hire a high-end escort and go to where the bad bitches are.
And trying to tell you,
I have talked about this countless times. When you walk in with a certified LA 9 or 9.5 on your arm, all the chicks want to know who you are.
There it is.
See, a lot of guys are like, I'm not going to spend money on this. I buy an outcome.
There it is. There it is. And listen, the escort is not to have sex with. Oh, no. The escort is the bait, right? You pay for the escort, the pussy you get for free. But and this is investing in yourself, because, Kevin, I'm going to tell you what. You hire a high-end escort, you go to where movers and shakers are. Not only are you going to get interest of women, you're going to want to have men coming to you seeking your advice or wanting to be in your presence. This is just how it is.
It's how I launched my career in advertising. I took a high-end escort to a company function, and unbeknownst to me, she was a regular of the VP of marketing. I told the story before. So a lot of guys got to realize, man, you can be a guy who's average, but if you have a high value mindset, you would not mind putting $1,000 up on a high-end escort because you can leverage that. If you really believe in yourself, all you need is a shot. So I knew that all I needed was a shot. And yeah, and the sex, the sex comes whether or not you want it or not. It comes in the package.
Right. There you go. Very good. Okay. The phone lines are now open, 914-205-5356. We have 3 more traits that all high-value men possess. Solo's going to give the first one. Myron, you're going to give, well, Solo's giving number 5, Myron number 6. I'll give number 7. So the fifth and probably one of the most important trait characteristics that all high-value men have is a high social aptitude, being able to socially dominate a room, being able to interact socially with both men and women, the ability to be attractive to both men and women. Now, Solo, you listen, man, you're probably one of the most underrated, one of those underrated content creators with regards to your style of game. A lot of people sleep on social circle game, man. And then guys wonder why can't I get women? Well, if you don't know how to be social, can be socially dominant, you're not going to get a chance. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you, Donovan. And you know what, Donovan? I realized this when I first did my game thing, when it was like everybody was, hitting up set after set, right? Doing all these approaches. In my first year after game, from September of 2008 to 2009, I did over 1,000 approaches, and I was burnt out, and I was writing about what I had learned and my realizations of game within that first year. And I realized right away that, you know what? The hottest chicks, the guys that had it really popping were in social circles, right? And the reality is, look, I know we've talked about cold approach versus choosing signals and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, a lot of guys don't understand that social mastery is important. It's not just about having a social circle, Donovan, but having that intelligence and awareness in regards to how to interact with people socially. So what I did as a black man, and I'm not trying to make this about race, but I put myself in the most uncomfortable position. I went in the backwoods of Wisconsin to did my own little boot camp, and I was scared shitless. I had a $70 Pele shirt on, Kevin, and I'm dressed up, and it's a bunch of hick people. And guess what? I put myself in a position to do the uncomfortable by becoming comfortable. Okay? You got to do the uncomfortable to become comfortable. And so next thing I know, I'm talking to the people, the mixed group, girls, guys, and they're buying me drinks. And then I realized, you know what? If I can do that in Wisconsin, I can do that anywhere. It's true, Donovan. If you can approach hick people in Wisconsin, guess what? I did it in Minneapolis. I've done it in California. I've done it in Denver. I can do that anywhere. So people have to understand that you have to become comfortable doing the uncomfortable. I always reference my, previous sales history, but a lot of guys don't understand social awareness, social intelligence, social mastery. And guess what, Donovan? It doesn't just help you with women, but it also helps you to network. I've gotten 3 out of my 4 jobs because of social networking, approaching people. A lot of people don't realize also that when you go out, and something that Kevin will agree with is when you go out and you're wearing a nice shirt and pants and all that, that's your avatar.
Right.
And then when you match that avatar going out dressing all fly, I'm just wearing a polo today, but then your body language, when you exude confidence, this all plays into that. So all of this stuff that these guys are talking about will help you with social mastery, with social intelligence, with social proof. It's an old school word, but it's real.
Real, yeah. Very well said. That seamlessly segues into the 6th trait that all high-value men possess. And by the way, guys, when you give us a call, stay on topic, okay? If you have something to add, if you have a high-value trait that you'd like to have or something to ask the panel about high-value traits, give us a call, 914-205-5356. Let's stay on topic. Social aptitude, I think, has a lot to do with a man's physical fitness. Now, there are some guys who are physically fit who are shy, but there aren't too many shy guys who are physically fit. Myron, listen, man. You actually touched on this a little bit when Kevin was talking about what he was talking about. It's fit before fashion, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you spent on your Armani suit. if you don't look the part physically, then you're not going to fill out the suit. How important is it? Actually, I'll ask you a better question. How much easier is it, or how many more opportunities do you get with women when you are physically fit than when you are not?
So here's the thing, man. When you do the walk-in the gym, when you go out there, you don't got to say much. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, when you meet a girl and you're in good shape, she's automatically going to be put on her back foot, which is exactly what you want as a man. Because the thing is that women are used to being in a position of power in the relationship where they can like dictate terms and kind of, you know, as Coach Greg Adams says, has you becoming a monkey simp, whatever it may be. But when you're in good shape, there's already this perception, as long as you live up to and you're congruent and you're high value in your other endeavors, because there's a lot of guys that are in good shape that are still simps. But if you're in good shape, you have awareness, you understand female nature, girls can't mess with you, man, because they know, oh, this guy is, by you being in good shape, you got visible abs, you got veins popping and stuff like that. You're already in an elite percentile of man. So if you have the other stuff taken care of, boom, you all you need to do now is be congruent with that high value based on your behavior, because the looks are already taken care of for you. And I'll tell you this, man, there's been plenty of times where I've had a girl back in my place and she was like, you know, on the edge of like, oh, do I want to do this? Do I not? I take my shirt off and boom, like she's like, okay, visceral attraction. She can't help it because like most guys don't look like that. So she's gonna be like, from a physical standpoint, she's actually gonna want to fuck you guys. Let's keep it real. A lot of you guys are getting this transactional sex, or like, you know, it's like she has to like
starfish,
starfish, or she's got to like get to like you, dude. When you got veins and you got abs popping and all this other stuff, the girls can't help themselves, man. Like, and I'm not saying this to sound like a tool bag or whatever, but it's another.
Yes.
It helps you. It helps you. Number one, it's for you. That's the number one thing. When you guys exercise, it's got to be for you. Because if you go to the gym solely for women, you're never going to see it through. This thing is hard. You got to eat correctly all the time. You got to drink water. Got a gallon of water right next to me here. You know, but a protein shake after this. Eat some vegetables. You know, you got to go be in the gym. You got to train intensely. Your whole lifestyle has to be based around you recovering, improving, and getting better, and taking care of yourself, sleeping enough, all this stuff, you know, abstaining from alcohol, drugs, all this stuff. So you're not going to see that through unless you do this for yourself. The women are a byproduct of it. You understand? So, and when they see it, they have no choice but to respect you. And like I said, it's going to put them in their back foot. They're not used to that. And it's going to just create inevitable attraction, especially if you're in good shape and you have an aesthetic body. You know, 1.62 ratio of shoulder to waist is the ideal for women, guys. A lot of guys think, do I need to get jacked? Do I need to take steroids? No, most of you guys overshoot your muscular development by about 20 to 30 pounds of what is actually attractive. Instead of trying to look like a professional bodybuilder, Ronnie Coleman, whatever, try to look like Brad Pitt from Troy. That's a good avatar.
Marco.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good avatar to use to be attractive. So, guys, I can't tell you how important it is for you to be in shape, not just for, you know, to get girls, but for your own health, your own sanity. Like, when you look good, you truly feel good. And when you can look in the mirror, you can look back and be happy at what you see. That's priceless, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get in shape, especially nowadays with how competitive the sexual marketplace is.
Yeah.
You have a choice, guys. You know what I'm saying? You got to improve yourself on all facets. You know, you can't fake being high value anymore. The days of being mystery and running like canned routines and all this other stuff, those days are done, guys. You know what I'm saying? Those days are done. Like, you gotta walk it like you talk it now. No Migos. So that's all I got.
All right, good stuff, man. Before we get to Lucario, somebody asked a question of Lucario. A couple of super chats I forgot a little bit early. Geek Anomaly, $2 super chat says, freeze a sample and get snipped. Best $600 ever. Hopefully you are saving that sample for a woman overseas rather than stateside. The Marapuki man says, thank you all for doing this. I need to do a consultation with the M-man and not be a butterball anymore, and Mr. Samuels to get my image right. Well, I'll tell you what, you get a consultation with Myron and Kevin, they're certainly they're gonna turn you in. Oh, they're gonna get you right.
Mm-hmm.
So James R with the $15 super chat has a question specifically for Lucario. He says, Lucario, how do you handle the abundance game if you have children with the wife? Since typically the girlfriend gets jealous of that link, and the wife gets jealous of the new girl. How do you keep the peace, brother? Oh wow, this guy's all.
That's a good question. So this is the thing. Well, one you got to understand, and this is for any guys who are, you know, interested in open relationships and stuff like that, is you first have to have genuine love for your girl and your wife, and, you know, any girls that you're involved in the situation. That's one. Two, jealousy is something that most likely will happen, but won't necessarily stay for long if you know how to communicate, but also have your girlfriend and wife meet each other and talk to each other. So my girlfriend and my wife, they've been out, they've had drinks together, they've hung out. You understand what I'm saying? Gotten to know each other.
Word.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what
Word. Oh shit. Okay.
So that's the thing, and so it's really to create a situation where there's communication flowing throughout, and then there's mutual respect on both sides. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is that it starts from me understanding, that while I'm interacting with my wife or my girlfriend, is that I actually have that genuine love for my wife and have that genuine love for my girlfriend, so that when I'm with them, they're not feeling like I'm, neglecting one over the other and vice versa. So that's what it is. You see what I mean?
Excellent. And listen, this is a very, very good answer, because it teaches you sort of how to frame things in such a way. Listen, this is a problem that you've got to nip in the bud.
Wait, Donovan, I'm sorry. Can I ask a quick question to Lucario?
Yeah, sure.
Are their periods synced?
I have no idea. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if their periods were synced. Women do tend to do that. All right, so I'm going to give the last and final characteristic that every high-value man possesses, and I want to get everybody's take on the panel. As soon as we get done talking about that, we'll answer any remnants of Super Chat that we have. Then we're going to get to the phone lines. We've got Derek in Georgia. Then we have Ian from California. So the last and final trait, and this is a trait that every high-value man possesses, and that trait or characteristic is discipline. Gentlemen, without discipline, you are nothing. One of the many fundamental differences between men and women is our discipline. Now, women, unfortunately for women, they do have discipline. Unfortunately for them and us, they're only disciplined in self-destructive behaviors. Drinking, drugs, taking dick on the side, et cetera, cheating, lying, et cetera. Now, we as men, we have discipline in those poor characteristics as well. But because our default setting is to build and create rather than to self-destruct like females, we tend to excel discipline-wise in things that build or excel. This is why the smartest people in the world are men. This is why most people who are in shape are men. Discipline is literally what gets you from point A to point D to point Z. Listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how great a shape you are. I don't care how well dressed you are. If you do not have discipline, you have nothing. Steve, I want to get your thoughts on discipline and how important is it for a man to develop discipline?
It's everything. It's not just discipline. It's also focus, because what a lot of young men don't understand is that I don't listen to the outside noise. I don't compare what I do to other men. I'm too focused on me and what I need to do. And I relish in the rejections, and I relish in the women shoot me down. I live for those things because it teaches me more that I got to learn more about myself. And the more I got to be more focused, the more I got to be more disciplined. I keep telling you, it's not about these women. It will always be about you and how you got to let it. It's not just the discipline, Dom, like real quick. It's the focus. It's like the chocolate and the peanut butter, like in the Reese's. Both of these things are so important, because without the focus, you're not going to be able to stand on the discipline. You know what I mean? You need to focus on what you need to do and stop listening to the outside world, because I can tell you, all these guys on this panel would tell you, there's no outside noise when you're focused and disciplined. There's no worry when you're focused and disciplined. There's no poor me when you're focused and disciplined. There's no excuses. There's no being a victim. There's no pointing the finger at women. It's because you are your hardest critic. Because the one thing I really want to say, the one thing I want to say is, I'm harder on myself when I get women versus when I don't, because my discipline is so hard on me and I'm so hard on myself. I'm like, well, if I got her in 2 days, Steve, why the fuck you didn't get her in a day? Why didn't you get her? If I got her in 7 moves, Steve, why didn't you get her in 5 moves? That's what discipline and focus brings to you, man.
Excellent. Very good. Lucario, what you got on this, man? How important is discipline? And I'll actually add to your question. How can a man who doesn't have discipline learn to develop discipline?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Discipline is extremely important. And I want to talk about what Jap was saying about the condom use, is that most guys have to be really disciplined about that, because like I was saying, that women will there's a lot of women, and some guys don't know this, that will beg you to not wear the condom. So you have to be disciplined to say, no, I'm wearing it no matter what. I'm doing what I got to do. You know what I mean? But to answer the second part is that, you know, how do you develop discipline, or how do you learn discipline? It's just something that you have to make it a habit. So for example, let's say, for example, you want to get fit, like, you know, like Myron's, you know, teaching guys how to get fit and everything. A lot of times is that you have to push yourself to make that become a habit. So you say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to, like, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, after work or before work, I'm going to go to the gym no matter what. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care. I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that becomes a habit. So that when it becomes the habit, it's something that you almost feel weird not doing it. So that's the thing that, you know, it just becomes second nature to you. It becomes part of your routine. It becomes part of your life, and it becomes a part of how you know, do your thing. And it's just your whole lifestyle. You know what I mean?
100% agreement. And I'll add this before I go to Solo here. It is much more difficult to stop bad habits than it is to start good ones. Listen, it's easy to start good habits. I mean, let's just all keep it real. But it is so much harder to stop bad habits. Solo, what are your thoughts on discipline and the importance? I mean, hell, I guess we can talk about discipline with money. Why do you think so many men your age? I don't know. I don't think you're a millennial, right? Like, you're right on that.
I am.
Okay. So why do you think so many men? Why do you think so many millennials? And I'll pose this question to Myron. Why don't they have any discipline? Like, what's going on with that?
I think a lot of men don't have discipline because they don't have motivation and a purpose to achieve a goal. You know, for me, when I was younger, Donovan, you know what I used to do? I used to play NBA 2K for 10, 12 hours at a time, and even NBA Live, right? And discipline is a lifestyle. And, you know, I've lost 60 pounds in the last year and a half, and I got 60 more to go. You feel me? And guess what, Donovan? You know as well as I do, the closer you get to your goal, the harder it becomes to lose the weight.
You know it.
And that's where discipline is even more important. So my alarm clock is synced. I have videos that I outline that I have to work on. So my time is very, very precious because I don't have a lot of it. I work a lot. You know, people think that, oh, I just do YouTube. No, I do other things too. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, the way I grind though, it looks like I'm a full-time YouTuber because I got everything disciplined to line up where I can make 3 videos in one day. And then I've got them set up for, you know, half the week or on the weekends. Boom, I've got videos already lined up. And so people think, well, man, this guy must just be doing YouTube videos all the time. No, it's discipline to also make sure that you're using your time wisely, Donovan.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to use your time wisely. And when it comes to money, guys spend it frivolously. They don't have money to buy your course, right? By the way, is your Womanese course still up, Donovan, or is it?
It is. It is out of it. It is. Enrollment is closed until Black Friday. Snooze, you lose.
But here's the thing: like, guys don't have money to buy Kevin's consultation or Lucario or Steve's, but they have money to, you know, buy the new Jordans.
Right.
Disciplines are also about priorities. Yes. If your priorities,
there we go.
If your priorities aren't aligned to your goal, your vision, and you're like, well, I don't, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, pussyfoot around it, and I'm gonna get there. Then you're not gonna get there. You know what? We have to practice something known as delayed gratification, Donovan.
Yes, I love it.
I have a goal, like, and I'm gonna share it on the platform here. I told myself, you know what? I'm not gonna travel to a foreign country until I hit my weight loss goal.
Okay. Because
that'll be a reward to me. So guess what? That's my goal. That's my motivation. How do I get there? Discipline, prioritizing my time, and guess what? Donovan, you know as well as I do, there are going to be times where you're not going to be motivated to go to the gym or eat right, but that's where discipline kicks in and helps you out with that. And guess what? When there's been certain instances where I didn't feel like making a video, but guess what? You got to do what you got to do. There's been certain instances where a woman has come around or said, "Oh, why are you making the video?" Look, if a woman doesn't understand what I'm doing, she got to get the fuck out of here, man.
Straight up. You got to go.
Is, you know, purpose over pussy. That's my motto.
Pop. Oh, there it is.
Purpose over pussy. Pop. And you know what? If something gets in the way of the discipline, of the purpose, of my priorities, then, you know, I got to reevaluate my goals. And I keep my goals written down for the week to see how I'm doing. Myron got me back on my MyFitnessPal app. Salute to Myron for doing that. You guys got to really want it. How bad do you want it? your goal? How bad do you want to get to your dream, your vision? That's what you got to ask yourself.
And if you if you have a purpose or a goal or a dream worth attaining, that will help you maintain that discipline. Very well said, Solo. Myron, what are your thoughts on discipline and or lack thereof?
So I just wanted to show this real quick because people think that I was just fit my entire life. And the thing is, guys, I did an experiment in 2015 where I got up to about 250 pounds. I'm 6'3". And then, on the left, this is me January of 2016 where I decided, all right, it's time to cut. And then the photo on the right was taken about 7 months later in July. And I dropped about 45 pounds, got lean again because I was lean, then got fat, then got lean again. And the thing is this, guys, stop sharing. The thing I want to bring up here is that you guys got to understand that when you look in the mirror and you're not happy with what you see, that's your fucking fault. And the only person that's going to change that is you. The problem is this, because we live in this millennial generation, and I'm going to speak to this as a millennial. A lot of you motherfuckers think that life is Uber. You know what I mean? Like everything is like, oh, instant gratification. We live in a fast food society. I want it here right now, whatever it may be. One of the few things that doesn't adhere to that bullshit is fitness. And the thing is this, with fitness, you have to put the work in. There's no cheating it. No one can give it to you, but no one can take it away from you. And if you can get your body in shape, when you go out and you talk to a bimbo at the club and she tells you some bullshit, you're not going to care. You're like, fuck you. Like you've accomplished nothing and you're going to move on to the next girl. That's why it's so important to get in shape, because you're going to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and you don't need female validation to walk through. The thing is that a lot of you guys, let's admit it, a lot of you guys watch this stuff because you guys need female fucking validation. You guys need girls to tell you you're hot. You got to be banging girls to feel like you're good, like you're a man or whatever. No, man. What your testament of being a man is being able to look in the mirror and be happy with what you see. That is true satisfaction. That's being a man. If you rely on female validation, guess what, man? You're going to be like a drug addict. You're never going to get enough. And you're going to consistently have to get more and more and more girls to get that same high. Next thing you know, you're going broke. You're spending money on chicks that don't like you anymore. You're losing your purpose. You're getting fat. You're drinking all the time. You're doing drugs, whatever it may be. And you're not on your shit no more because you want to chase women. Discipline comes down to how bad do you want it. If you want it more than you're tired of being like a loser, then you're gonna see it through. That's what it comes down to, man. You got to look in the mirror and say, how bad do I want it? That's what discipline is, and that's what a lot of guys lack nowadays because we live in this instant gratification society, and fitness is one of the few things that does not adhere to that BS, guys. So
talk that shit, Myron. Talk that shit.
If you're fat, it's your fucking fault. This fast food society we got, and like basically everyone's saying like, oh, body positivity, all this other shit. No, if you're fat, you're a fucking loser, bro. I'll tell you like that. It's your fault that you ate the cheeseburgers and got like that. So you got to change. That's it.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on the discipline side of things?
Well, everybody pretty much touched on a lot of stuff, but discipline. Steve kind of touched on something that I want to focus on. A lot of us, because we weren't raised by dad, we miss these things: structure, consistency, focus. Consistency is what it leans itself to discipline. You can do something great for a short period of time, but if you cannot do it when you don't feel like doing it, you're not going to win. In order to get anything done or get to your ultimate goal, you have to have the discipline to do it when you don't feel like doing it. And here's the number one reason why. So many people don't persevere. They don't start with why.
There you go.
Why are you doing something? Why is one of the most important questions I learned to ask as a sales professional. Why do you want to become rich? Well, because of this. And then why do you want that? Because of this. And why do you want that? Because of this. If the whys don't line up, you're not going to be able to get anything done long term. If you want to get in shape because ultimately you're trying to impress this person, well, what happens after you've impressed that person? The why is gone.
Right.
Simon
right.
Sinek, start with why. I'll give you two things. Start with why, and then the power of habit. The human brain is a supercomputer.
Yes.
Men, we organize and we put things in chunks or routines. 70% or more of the things we all do are routines. So just like Myron talked about getting in shape, all you have to do is, what do you have to do? You have to overwrite a bad habit with a new habit. In order to do that, how long does it take to make a new habit? Roughly 6 weeks. And you have to have the discipline to take it and do it over that period of time to let the old program format over the new program.
Okay. Jap, what is your take on discipline? Now, you mentioned something obviously called dick discipline. But what other kinds of discipline do men need? I guess do men need to learn, and why again do millennial men lack discipline?
Well, a lot of people don't understand that being a man, you have to be disciplined. To be the best definition of what manhood is, you have got to be disciplined. And when you have discipline, it actually inspires.
There you go.
Like women latch on to a disciplined man. Like when she sees a man that's just completely focused, can't be derailed off his program, because she knows she's trying to, hey, you're going to work out. I want to go, to the show. I want to do this, and that. And he's like, nah, I got to take care of this. It's like, damn, nothing I can do can take this guy off of his square. And he's getting shit done. One thing about a disciplined man, they identify a problem and they solve the shit.
There you go.
And when you got a lot of guys making excuses, oh, you got to look good, this, and this, and oh, if you don't look good, you're never going to get the bitch. Control the controllables. Be disciplined. Like Myron said, you can control how your body looks.
Right.
That's your shit. It's yours. You got one of them. So get on. If you identify a fucking problem, get off your ass and make it happen. Are you a man or you make excuses like bitches? Disciplined men don't make excuses. They make shit happen. And they get respect. When a woman sees, damn, this guy consistently does what the fuck he says he's going to do.
God damn right, man.
You automatically get the respect. And when you get the respect, you get cooperation. Most of you guys are not disciplined. Because if you say, yeah, I always use condoms, and then a pretty bitch comes around and she says, come fuck me wrong. She'll never have respect for you because you talked all this shit, but now you been on your principles. You been on what you stand for. You don't have the integrity to hold this shit down. You gotta have your discipline. You gotta be structured. And I think that's just one of the beautiful parts about being a man, being a part of this red pill mindset. You're gonna be structured. Like when dudes take the red pill, generally they improve and they stick to it. Whether it's gonna be fitness, their money, just how they interact with people, they are going to improve. And that's just a part of the discipline, man. I just think that's the best thing for a man, to be a disciplined man. And it's going to show. It's going to come out your pores. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk to Myron, you know this motherfucker's disciplined. He's motherfucker at 6 in the morning, drinking black coffee, running laps.
There it is.
but it's respected, and it's going to show. You know what I'm saying? The results are there. The discipline brings the results.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go last on this, guys. I want you guys to take a look at your screen, okay? That right there is the very first time I showed my face on YouTube. That was my very first studio. Dude, it was myself. I had a desk. It was actually Devin's fucking Apple Mac computer. And listen, I even have the date up there. Monday, September 4th of 2017. Gentlemen, less than it's been a long fucking 3 years, right? You go from that to this. You don't go from where that was to what I do now without having freakish discipline. You want to know something, guys? Discipline is not just doing something consistently. That's only part of what it is. No, discipline is doing shit when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is doing shit when there are forces around you trying to stop you doing what you're doing. Listen, man, we've all had adversity here online with our YouTube channels. I am no different. Those of you guys who have followed me for any amount of time, dude, I've had 2.5 YouTube channels taken down. I've been kicked off Twitter twice, Instagram twice. I've been kicked off Facebook 5-6 times. I kept coming back. discipline and perseverance. Perseverance is also another high value man trait, dude. And again, if you don't have discipline, dude, read some books. How can I get more discipline? But Kevin nailed it on the head. Unless you have a good why, then you will never be disciplined. And I'll go back to what Myron said. You cannot make girls your reason for wanting to go get into shape, because as Red Pill Mike said in last night's show, and he actually puts in another $100 super chat here. I'll get to that in a minute. He says guys who lift weights strictly for girls are always the first to quit as soon as they get female attention. And it's 100% true. If your why is pussy, guess what? As soon as you get pussy, the why is no longer there. Mm-hmm. To me, discipline is the most important. Listen, I'm sure that there are other traits that are most important, but if you don't have discipline, you can't dress well. If you don't have discipline, you can't get fit. If you don't have discipline, you can't protect yourself. If you don't have discipline, you're not going to be successful in anything in life. Listen, I'm telling you right now, manhood starts and begins. It is the alpha and omega that is discipline. So Solo, you have a question to ask Jap real quick.
Yeah, Jab, we've already talked about this whole condom thing, but one thing we didn't really address, bruh, sometimes when you're up in them late at night, I mean, the condom breaks, bruh. Let's just, I just got to say that,
Breaks.
I mean, nothing's foolproof. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even people with bulletproof vests on get clapped. You know what I'm saying? But it's better than nothing. I have a method that will assure you that you will never get a bitch pregnant. I use the condom and I pull out with the condom on.
Yes, thank you.
This method is foolproof. I also use the Jadakiss approach. Just because you've seen me coming in and out of your house, there's no way that she can have a baby out of her mouth.
Oh my God.
I'm very, very focused and I'm disciplined.
Comment of the fucking
on this shit. So yeah, I pull out with the condom on, man. She's like, why you do that? For my safety and yours.
That's exactly how we put it too, right? For my safety and yours. Let me get to these super chats before we got a question specifically for Lucario. Then we're going right to the phone lines. In life with the $5 super chat says consistent action with high goals always brings tremendous results. Truer words never spoken. Red Pill Mike with another $100 super chat says once a man implements abundance correctly, the results are always advantageous. Abundance has always been a technique of its own used for properly vetting women. Women who are turned off by a man with abundance will naturally vet themselves out and leave the best. Dude, if a woman doesn't want to compete, she is telling you she is not worth being with. That's all there is to it. Very good comment there by Red Pill Mike. Troubleman 313 with the $5 super chat says, great production value tonight. Awesome show. Yeah, you guys see that I'm putting updates there in the chat. I can communicate with both you and the guys just to kind of let you know how the show is flowing. It's not easy to do, but I'll get the hang of it. And I think it's really going to help things out. Yeah. R asks another question with another $10 super chat to Lucario. Says, Lucario, much respect. It has to be asked, young comrade, how did you keep the wife from seeking divorce? The only time I have seen a woman truly okay with this is if she's sick or something. Here we go.
This is the thing, though. I've talked about this before, is that whenever you're dealing with a woman, you always got to vet the chick. And so, like, even for example, my wife, we were together for 7 years before she became my wife. You understand what I'm saying? My girlfriend, we were dating for a year before she became a girlfriend. So the thing is also is that, like I was saying earlier, is that I had her contribute to the situation. So again, when they contribute to the situation, they become more attached to the situation. Right. And then therefore there's all this divorce and all that other stuff. That's usually something that's out the window unless you start fucking up. You understand? A lot of times. See, a lot of times what happens is they say that women, they end up being the ones that want the divorce. I think they said like 80% of women are the ones that do divorce. Usually that's because guys meet a woman, date them for 6-7 months, marry them within a year, And it's usually some beta male dude who's just marrying this woman. The woman never was really interested in the guy. The woman never put in any work. There's no attachment there. So she's like, why am I with this guy? I'm not feeling him. He's nothing. He's a loser. I'm just using him for his resources, and I'm going to be on my way out. And so that's the thing. This woman has no attachment, no love, no nothing for you. And then therefore, that's why the divorces and stuff happen most of the time. You see what I'm saying?
Very, very well said. I don't know. That kind of sounded like a sneak tip diss, but listen, and what Mario said is spot on. If you have to make a woman invest in the relationship. Mm-hmm. It is much harder to leave a relationship if she has skin in the game. This is why women leave relationships so easily. Men do not make women work for his commitment. You make her work for your commitment when she gets it. She knows, dude, it's worth something. Right. And she has skin in the game. If you let her become your girlfriend just for fucking you, she's gonna leave. You want to know why? Because she's fucking everybody else.
Right. Facts.
Listen, she's fucking everybody else. But who is she checking in with? Who is she letting see her phone? Who is she getting off social media for? There are many different ways you can cause a woman to sort of invest in you. But
who is she spending money on?
That listen,
facts.
No, listen. I am trying to tell you. So, and listen, I know a lot of guys probably can't wrap their minds around the fact that, and this Isaiah R guy's like, dude, how in the world is his woman not seeking his wife not seeking divorce if he's got a girlfriend? Fam, dude, this didn't just happen overnight. Right. This is decades of hard work. This is decades of game. You don't just get to where Lucario is by just a couple of magic tricks. It takes a lot of work.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say a lot of people don't understand that the thing about wives or women when they're with men is that they will say, you know what, have your fun, do your thing. Just don't make me look bad. A lot of women will look the other way because they see the value in the man. They're not going to leave him, but they also know that a man is always wanted and they adjust to that and they deal with that. So they can understand that. So it's a whole new different ball game. It's not just you married to a woman, y'all think y'all happily ever. And some guys like, no. But women, a lot of guys don't know women will find women for you.
Oh, they will. Yep, they will.
Yeah. So
what? Listen, man. Listen, women pick up women much better than men. Straight up.
Yes, they do.
I'm trying to fucking tell. Yeah, Kevin, you know all about that. Let us go to phone lines. Up next, let's see. We're going to go to Derek in Georgia. Derek in Georgia, you're on live with the 7. What is your question or comment?
Yes, sir. I'd like to say, first of all, thank you so much for the wealth of knowledge that you have provided here. I'd like to say thank you to everyone on the panel. And you really helped me navigate the sea of confusion, which is the Western American woman. And you helped me navigate those waters safely. And I'd like to say thank you. And you are so right about discipline, because when you are disciplined and when you are focused and when you are about your purpose, women take notice, because I've noticed that, well, when I'm out and about and it's like Coach Greg had said, women, they are drawn to your energy. They can feel that. And they will put themselves in your orbit, because I have seen that where women have put themselves in my orbit and right in my face. But I'm focusing on my goals and getting myself back together, because I've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations dealing with women here in this country. And I am so grateful to all of you, because you have helped so much with your knowledge. And I would like to see it grow and flourish. And something that really concerns me is that about a year and a half ago, when I was driving over the road, I heard mention that in the state of Illinois that they were going to were working on putting in place a law where, so far as child support goes, that custody would be shared amongst both the mother and the father, and the money would, both parents' income would.
Okay,
be.
Derek, I'll let you go.
What
Listen,
are you talking about, man?
Well,
what is he talking about?
Well, hold on. Listen, that's okay. I appreciate the call, guys. You got to stay on topic. You got to stay on topic. We're talking about trades of high. Listen, Derek in Georgia, I greatly appreciate it, but tonight's episode is not about child support. Now, you can prevent child support by using the condom, but it's not about child support. So I appreciate it, but we have to stay on topic. Let us go to Ian from California. I believe that's his name. Ian from California. You're on Live at the 7.
90 seconds.
I'm still crazy about the panel, man.
Good stuff, man.
Still crazy about it, man. But yeah, I'll be quick, man. I want to touch on the abundance mindset real quick. This is how you know a man has the abundance mindset. What is he willing to let go in order to achieve success?
Oh, wow.
That's a biggest indicator to know how if a man has the abundance mindset. Because
60
here's the
seconds.
thing. It's easy to talk about how many bitches you want to fuck. It's easy to talk about like how much money you want to make. It's easy to talk about like the trips you want to take. But what are you willing to give up in order to reach that level? Because what I've learned over my red pill journey is that there's actually two halves of success.
Okay.
There's the goal, the direction, where you want to go, and then there's the sacrifice. What are you willing to give up and no longer return to in order to reach that next level? And it's just like you have to be like a butcher. You got to trim the fat to get to the marble of that meat.
That's right.
You got to trim off all the things that are holding you back. That's really just hindering your success. And you just have to never come back to those things
10
ever again.
seconds.
And that's what most men, especially men in my generation, aren't willing to do. They talk a lot of clout and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck all these hoes and I want to do all this stuff. But then ask them, okay, what are you willing to give up in your normal routine in order to get those bitches you want to fuck, to get that money that you want to have, and to go on whatever you want to do? Because like that's how you really know if that man has an abundance mindset. That's really like the core of it. What is he willing to let go?
Okay, listen, good comments there by Ian in California. And listen, man, and he did get a little bit wordy, but he's right. Whatever you're willing to let go to achieve success, that is what you have an abundance mindset in. If you're willing to let go of women to achieve success, then guess what? You know you have an abundance of women. Unfortunately, 99.9% of men would never, ever give up women to achieve success, not even temporarily. Let us go to the phone lines. Let us go now to Simon in Connecticut. Simon, you're on Live at the 7.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment, especially about style. Kevin touched on this when it comes to fit. Speaking as a 5'7" guy, if you are short, fit is 10 times as much important as it is for any other normal guy, because you don't want to be going out looking like you're wearing your father's suit. You want to be looking like a man wearing a suit. But also, for the longest time, I thought, my success with women came down to me being 5'7" when it was really my shoddy presentation, how I spoke, how I dressed, how I carried myself. Okay. And you know what? Myron touched on this. Jap touched on this. Men, you have a choice in life. Okay. Be a victim or do the best with what you got. Choose wisely. That's all I got to say.
Very good. Very well said. But Simon in Connecticut, what would you like to add to that, Kevin?
Well, yeah, images, appearance, behavior, communications. That's what he said. The way he looked, the way he carried himself, the way he spoke, and then the digital footprint, the deed, the way you present yourself online. All those things work against you if you don't prioritize them because you're using the wrong tool. Image is language. Oftentimes you think you're speaking English, but if your market is speaking Spanish, it don't match.
Wow. Okay, well, I couldn't have put that any better myself. That's actually a very good point. Image is a language of its own. Very, very well. Mm-hmm. Let us go to Arthur in New York City. Arthur, you are on Live with the 7.
Yes, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's my first time calling in and even catching you live. You guys are great. I'm not sure if you touched on this specifically, but I guess it's like an anagram of all the conditions, but a trait that maybe you can add is a righteous and respectful sense of superiority.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's something that actually helped me to overcome approach anxiety.
Okay.
So maybe it could be a help of the other guys.
So it's almost like and thanks for the call, Arthur. Listen, I like that. A righteous sense of superiority, not an overconfidence, so to speak, because we got a lot of guys with ego. And one thing that I'll point out here is there's a big difference between ego and confidence. Ego is only fueled by the outside. The reason why a man has a big ego is because other people tell him he is awesome. The reason a man has confidence is because he knows he's awesome. There's a very, very big difference. And ego can be punctured quite easily. Confidence can never be shaken. Does anybody? I think somebody had something to add to that. If I'm not mistaken,
You got to be a calculated asshole.
There you go.
You know, you got to know when to turn that shit on and turn that shit off. You know what I'm saying? But because it kind of gets to the point where, you know, it could be a turn off for women, but a lot of women do love jerks. So you gotta know how to be a calculated jerk enough to still intrigue her and keep her attention. You know what I'm saying? And not turn her off, you know.
Okay, good stuff, man. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go. All right, let us go to Shane in Maryland. Shane in Maryland, you're on live at the 7.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot for taking my call. First of all, I'd like to just say this, that I listen to you all of you guys, but primarily Kevin, Samuel, you, and Minister Jeff. The first thing I have to say, you all will be cracking me up here because you all are on the spot on this shit. Now, I'm a little bit close to Kevin Samuel age, and also I will say this, I'm not trying to brag because I don't get into that stuff, but I'm at the highest levels in academia at one of the most prominent universities in the country.
Okay.
And I will tell you this also on the same, and I don't want to put my also to say, you know, but you, Minister Jeff, and Kevin hit it on the money, but also you all are funny as hell. I don't know whether I listen to you all because you all are funny as hell or whether on the same note that you speaking the truth. But I think it's about speaking the truth. But let me just say this part. Like I said, I'm originally from Detroit. That's why I get into a lot of Minister Jeff. Like I said, Donovan, you crack me up, Kevin, on the money. But most important thing is this: people, you got to be disciplined.
That's right.
Then also on the same note, you got to be focused. Another thing I'm gonna say is this: excuse me with me being funny because I do crack jokes. If you are like into ludicrous splash waterfalls, actually you just can't give a fuck about what people think about you. The next thing I'll have to say is this: when it comes to women, you got to be ready to walk away from pussy. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You cannot let that control you because that shit will come and everything. Like you all say, I'm old school. I like to say, when you handle your business, I know everybody you being on purpose now, but my whole thing is you got to handle your business. That other stuff will come. The other thing is this too: when chicks get out of line, I'm like this. I like looking at old movies. You got to make them hoes walk the plank. You got to make them walk the plank and everything like that. And everything. I'm you know, just like what's this we always look at with Clark Gable, Mutiny on the Bounty.
Yes.
This is a mutiny. What did they make them do? Captain Bligh didn't care. Captain Bligh made the motherfuckers walk the plank. And also another thing is this, you know, they do something in the Navy, you know, which they throw them overboard, keyhaul them. You cannot. I mean, this is for anybody, but in this day and age, how these women are right now and so forth, you got to make people walk the plank and you got to keyhole them. And in all honesty, when I was younger, I made everybody do that.
Goddamn right.
I'm fortunate because I'm going to say this. Hello? And I'll keep it short. I'm fortunate because I'll say this. Yes, every man sent to their life. You know, I have too. But I didn't send a lot of guys. I learned stuff really early. I played football. I'm 6'2", 220.
Oh, there we
Caught
go.
my first touchdown. All holes start coming. Another thing I'll say is this. How I learned women is this. I screwed this chick I was trying to get with when I was at 16 in high school. I got with her best friend. So I learned just by studying things and whatnot. So I'm going to tell you this. I was a dog, but also on the same note, I was poor. When you a dog and you poor, you're focused and everything like that. And I was straight up focused. So like I said, you know, Donovan, Minister Jeff, no disrespect to anybody else, and Kevin, I'm kind of a combination of you, the three of you all. But on the same note is this too. But young brothers and all, like I said, I am so fortunate. But another thing is this too.
All right, had to let him go. Sorry about that. Listen, we got.
I was waiting for it.
I love when guys talk, but Kevin actually has to run. But we have Chris in Philly who has a question for Kevin. Chris in Philly.
Okay.
What is up, guys? Love listening to the panel, man. Love all you guys here. Now, actually, Donovan, I'm going to go off something that you said earlier about Jordans don't get taken seriously about the shoes. Because obviously there's a reason why Dorothy stole the witch's shoes when in the Wizard of Oz. So, as a guy who's 24 years old, Kevin, how would you recommend a young man like me dress when trying to go to night game or go out to bars and all that sort?
Well, at 24 years old, when you're trying to go out to bars, is that what he asked?
Well, even just going to any like night venue or just
listen. What he's trying to
dressing
ask you, listen,
and
Kevin, hold
going
on,
out to, like,
caller. What he's trying to ask you at 24 years old, he doesn't make enough money to buy Ferragamo. So what's a guy like him who is not at his peak financial potential? What's a guy like him supposed to do to dress well in order to be taken seriously besides wear Jordans?
Oh, well, same thing. It's about the fit more than anything else.
There you go.
I mean, go to Suit Supply is a great place to go to get simple, casual, or even dressed up clothes. I mean, here's the thing, guys your age, you're at the bottom or the beginning of your earning potential. The women your age are looking at men who can provide like men at my age.
There it is.
So you gotta, first off, you get something that fits and just go with it. And if you really got to get into brands and stuff like that, then go to a consignment shop, buy something on vintage and wear it every time you go out. There are guys who wear the same thing to every damn venue and they still clean up.
Very good. Thank you very much, Kevin. Listen, Kevin has to run, but listen, Kevin, we appreciate you making an appearance on tonight's show. Kevin is going to start a live stream on his channel. We appreciate it. We have two more callers, guys, and guys, try to get try to be as brief as you can here. Let's go to Richard in Pittsburgh. Richard in Pittsburgh, you're on live at the 7.
What's going on, Donovan and gentlemen?
What's
it's
up?
A great honor to be on line with you guys. I just want to say, when you were talking about discipline, I was reading in a book the other day about particularly the artists, because I am a comic artist. You have to find love and gratification in doing the work itself, getting up, loving the fact that you're tired, but you're still persevering and pushing through. And I just want to say that Ernest Hemingway, he said it best. There's nothing noble being superior to your fellow men. True nobility is being superior to your former self. Being the best person you are, being better than who you used to be. That's all it is. Thank you guys so much.
Excellent.
Have a great one. Keep your money tight and right.
Oh, I guess he left. Okay, very good. All right. Well, the guys are definitely making it a little bit more succinct. Last call of the evening. Let us go to Walker in Colorado. Walker in Colorado, you're on live at the 7.
Hey, what's up, guys? So first of all, again, thank you. I got two things. Just first of all, classic line thought of while I was watching the show. Women would rather share a winner than consolidate on a loser.
Real talk.
And, a perfect example of that is, Lucario's living it, and Steve has it plastered on the wall behind him. I mean, that's all you need in terms of this conversation. And
Absolutely.
Then secondly, a trait that I thought was also important is the ability to master and overcome fear. And I know Solo touched on it a bit in terms of putting himself into extremely uncomfortable situations. But specifically what I'm talking about is the fear of an outcome. I feel like many men get paralyzed, and women in business or whatever, when it comes to fearing what will happen. And instead of trying things out, they don't even take the step to see what will happen and figure out if they want a different outcome from what happens anyway. So I think that's critical. But anyway, I'll cut it there. And again, thank you for the time and for the show. Very much appreciated. And you guys have a good rest of your night.
You too. Thank you, Walker in Colorado. Steve, and then Solo. What you got, Steve?
Yeah, first I want to say thank you for the compliment. I think what a lot of guys don't understand is that it's not really fear that you think you're feeling. It kind of goes back to a movie called Wanted with Morgan Freeman and Angelina Jolie. It was and where the gentleman kept getting these feelings and he kept suppressing those feelings by naming those feelings anxiety. So what he kept doing was he was holding himself back. And see, what a lot of men don't understand is that feeling that you have that feeling that you label fear. Now, the key word here, Donovan, and everybody, label. You gave it the name fear. It's the same thing that got you to the egg, and most of you guys don't even realize that.
The egg?
You know, when you first came, I'm getting deep here. When you, the egg, goddamn, the woman's egg. Yeah, all right, yeah, I Solo, you asshole. Yes, I don't. Okay, anyway, when I say it's Solo, yes, the egg, mom's egg, not the egg that you cook, mom's egg. That you had drive, discipline, and determination to reach the egg. It's just when you got older, when it started to come out, and it's that lion in you, that drive in you. It's a weird feeling. It's saying, get the fuck out of my way and let me talk to the woman. Get the fuck out of my way and let me do what I need to do. But what y'all guys are doing is you're labeling that shit fear. It's not fear. You have to embrace it, go towards the bullets, go in the fiery building, embrace the feeling, and stop running away from it.
Very good. Wow, well said, Steve. Very Solo, what you got? I mean, how are you gonna follow up on that?
Donovan, I'm gonna leave the egg situation alone for a second.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Steve. But I'm gonna go somewhere completely left, and you may agree or disagree. But a lot of men suffer from something known as outcome dependence, right?
Yes.
Where you want the situation to go a certain way so bad that you already sabotage yourself before you even start. So what happens then is you have a vision of how your night is going to go or how certain things are going to go, and then you get like crippled by, you know, anxiety or what you deem as fear or these emotions. And Donovan, here's where I'm going to take it left, and some may disagree or agree. But one thing I used to do, Donovan, when I was nervous before I stepped out to these Wisconsin bars or when I was about to go out, I would sit in my car for 10 minutes and close my eyes and meditate. Okay. Right? A lot of guys just like, yeah, okay, great. We can amp ourselves up. I love listening to music before I go out or do what I got to do or an interview. But sometimes you got to calm your freaking mind. Calm your mind. And then when you're in that state of peace, guess what? People can sense it. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, Solo is talking this esoteric bullshit. No. Your vibe is something people can pick up on. And a lot of guys, when you approach a woman, they have a sixth sense. They're like dogs. They can tell when you're scared shitless.
Yes, they can.
So sometimes quiet your mind and then do what you got to do. And know that you're that dude, but start believing that you're that dude.
Very good, man. Wow, very good follow-ups. Real quick, a couple of super chats, and we got one more super chat question. Uncomfortable Truth says, Logical Wavo here. Great show, gentlemen. Let's keep growing in knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and application. Execute. And then Isaiah R says, got much respect and love for all the brothers on here tonight. Also, Kevin, the man often speaks of the 3 Fs a woman has to have. What are each of your 3 Fs when it comes to women? Well, Kevin's not here. I'm sure he could probably answer that on his channel. But my 3 Fs is she cooks food, she fucks, and she shuts the fuck up. Those are my 3 Fs. Those are my 3 Fs. But seriously, yeah, Kevin's probably doing a live stream over there. I'm sure that he'll be more than happy to answer that question. Sight Beyond Sight with the $10 super chat says, great guys. I'm sorry. He says, guys, great work you're putting in. Solo, thanks for that tip on Chainlink. What's he talking about?
He's talking about cryptocurrency. I just dropped a fire 3-hour cryptocurrency live stream last week. I think a lot of guys, look, we can always talk about women. That's great. But on my channel, I also talk about things guys should look out for. And cryptocurrency is the next wave, Donovan. I mean, with this economy,
for a while, man. I've been hearing about it for a while, dude.
Facts.
Okay, guys, that is going to do it for this edition of The 7. Listen, this was a fantastic episode. Great callers. You guys were way too generous with the super chats. Again, we greatly appreciate that. Let's go one more time around the panel, and we will give our final thoughts on high-value men and their habits. Steve.
Hey, first off, I want to say thank you to the guys listening to the chat room and those that called in and the panel and Donovan. Just want to say to y'all guys that the most important thing is to keep focused on what you need to do. Don't look at the end game. Take your time, win small battles, then you will win the war. Thank you.
Good stuff. Lucario, final words.
Yeah, just well, shout out to everybody. And I'll say the final thing is just, the most important thing is confidence, understanding your value, understanding yourself, because that's the thing that propels you to become that high value guy, because no one's going to see you as that unless you see yourself as that first.
That's very succinct. Solo.
First, I want to say thank you to all the viewers all the people that donated. We really appreciate it because we split the donations. And the callers, no disrespect to you guys. I love you guys, but some of you guys need to tighten it up. But we love you. No disrespect. And all I want to say is this, guys. Realize that on the road to self-improvement, to success, you're going to face many obstacles. And realize that you have to have a plan and you got to be disciplined with that plan, because to be a high value male or to get to that level, it's going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay.
Yes.
And the second thing is, my name is SoloTV84. I'm on Instagram. If you want to talk about cryptocurrency, check out my channel, SoloTV84, self-improvement, cryptocurrency. We talk about thoughts for the streets. Shout out to Unplug. He's going to be on it this coming week. So a lot of content coming out. And once again, also thank you to Donovan for making the 7, aka the 7 deadly sins.
Yes,
More
sir.
to come. More to come.
I like it, man. The 7 deadly sins. I kind of like that. That might stick. Myron, what you got on tonight's episode?
Man, it was a great show, man. I hope you guys took something away from that. Obviously, we gave you guys, if you have those 7 traits, man, there's no way that you're not going to be able to dominate life. And then a byproduct of you dominating life is the women are going to come into your life. So, get all these things in check, guys, and then you will be an apex male, which quite frankly, it's lonely at the top. Not many guys are there, so it's going to be slim. It's going to be easy pickings for you guys. Hit me up on IG, Unplug Fit, YouTube as well. My channel, Unplug Fit. I want to thank everybody because I'm almost at 3K subs in only 3 months, man. So thank you for the support.
We'll get you to 10K. Let's go.
Man.
Go.
So,
10K.
I want to thank everybody for that, for allowing me to grow so quickly and supporting the content and everything like that. I'm going to keep giving you guys the best content I can with fitness and dealing with chicks like real time, because I'm here in Miami, so I got to figure this stuff out. So yeah, man. I'll have Troy Francis on my show tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about how to run game in London and in Europe in general. So you guys want to definitely put that out.
Good. That'll be very good. Jap, what you got, man?
Hey, just appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate you, Donovan. Shout out to everybody on the panel. The high value man. What I do want to close with saying is that the 7 methods that we named that a high value man must have. I mean, it's not just to become a high value man, because a lot of guys will end up in that period of time where they'll be high value, but something can derail you and you won't be valuable anymore. So it's about maintaining your value and staying valuable in this game. So we just want to make sure that you guys are equipped with the right type of knowledge, the way you're going to remain valuable at all times, because that's your big joker. That's your draw 4 card. That's what keeps your leverage to where now the woman has to abide by your guidelines and, the things that you set in place. So just remain valuable at all times, at all costs.
Very good. Very well said, Jap. Real quick, Walker Jones with another $20 super chat. Says, thanks for taking my call and for your time tonight. Absolutely. Red Pill Mike probably has donated maybe $300 in super chats this evening. Says, fear exists when a man cares too much about the act itself. When a man chases what he wants but doesn't care about the result, he wins no matter what. Women want winners and not a man afraid to lose. That sounds like something Steve Williams would say.
Play to win, baby. That's what Mike is on it, man. Thanks for the support, bro.
Absolutely. And the last thing I'll say about the high value man is this: the reason I'm so transparent with the progress of my show, the progress of my life, is because I want guys to see that it can be done. Okay, I didn't set out to be this, but I stuck with it. I was disciplined. I was forceful. I was willful. You really, really can improve your life. It's not going to happen overnight, right? You don't go from a low value man to a high value man. Listen, just because you win the lottery, just because you're $5 million richer, that doesn't mean you're high value. All that makes you now is a bigger fucking target. So you guys have to understand, and Myron says this all the time, it is absolutely adherence. Guys, you have to stick with it. Dude, discipline. You gotta stand on your principles. You have to have that abundance mindset. You need to use the condom, avoid getting these bitches pregnant, get fit, and develop social circle game. And of course, learn to dress very well. And you guys will quickly start to see that people will change the way they treat you. People will change the way they view you. Gentlemen, that is going to do it for the 7. Again, my thanks to everyone in the panel, everyone on the chat. We greatly appreciate your super chats, and we will see you right back here next week at the same time. Peace out, guys.
Hey, guys.